Hello, hello. All right, so I'm back from doing chores. I have dishes washing. I have things going on. We had an online order to pick up, which is why I was like, I have to go now. So we are good and we're ready, and I don't have to leave the house now until tomorrow afternoon. So I plan on finishing Taiga's first board today. That is my goal. And then, depending on how late it is, I might keep playing a little bit longer. That was my whole goal today. I had honestly meant to play earlier, so I was a little sad that I didn't start earlier. When you get back from like a trip, like there's so much to do. Like it's little things here and there, and so I just kept like getting distracted. I also ate just since I knew I was going to be streaming for a while longer tonight, so I didn't want to be like, no, I'm hungry. I even didn't turn off the game actually. I didn't save because I didn't turn it off, so we're still just here. Now to resume. So yeah, my goal is to, at the very least, finish this board, no matter how long it takes. However, if I finish it and it's like, it's 6:30 right now. If I finish it and it's only like 8 or 9, I might stay up until closer to midnight just to get it closer to being done. Only because I want to not be thinking about this game after 9 RP comes out. I don't want to think about it. It's not that there's anything bad with this. It's just we've been playing this one for 2 months now. Left, clear, right, clear. I just want to have this one done so I can focus entirely on 9 RP, and then we can get ready to focus on Verche, and then gear up for whatever we're gonna do for Christmas. I haven't decided yet. I don't know if Gensho Magica is gonna be coming out. We were just talking about that earlier, that might have been pushed to next year. And if it has, then that means I have time to play something else. I glanced around to make sure the coast was clear both ways. I slowly made my way down the hallway. I was on the second floor where the men's bedrooms were. Let no one catch me.
お嬢様
Miss Leah! Yes, Kasuga. I swallowed an undignified squawk, jumping about 2 feet in the air. I whirled around to look behind me. Kasuga! I let out a sigh of relief when I realized I wasn't being ambushed by any of my
こん
suitors.
なところで何を
What's going on here, miss?
タ
Stop.
イガさんの部屋に
I'm going to Taiga's room. It's not good.
はい
I beg your pardon.
だからタイガさんに愚痴を聞いてもらいに行くところなの。
I realize I don't have my quick actions open. Hang on. Yeah, I don't usually stream this late, so I might be alone, and I'm okay with that because I have a mission. I also have a video that I will be putting up on YouTube. I have to film a little bit more for it because it's not for Twitch, it's only for YouTube, so we're gonna see how it goes. It's a review, but there will be some clips of me playing the game because I did play the game. I'm just bad at it, so we'll see. I said I'm going to see if Taiga, so I can vent to him for a while. I mumbled my excuses and tried not to let guilt surface on my face. Kasuga nodded slowly in understanding.
最近多いですねほどほどに
You've done that often lately. Try not to overdo it. Okay, so she's just constantly going to Kasuga's room. I won't.
ならば良いのですが
That's good, I suppose.
では
Now, if you'll excuse me. So I've just been going up to his room, in his room, talking to him. So basically, it's like Shion. What else am I supposed to do? I'm so stressed. I muttered to myself as I watched Kasuga walk away.
それでね、一夜さんたら
Oh,
自
I
分の
also
車の
have...
内装を私好みに変えるなんて言い出したのよ。
I also have my list officially. I was working on that too in between this. So I said I was going to have a list of what order I'm going to be playing 9 RAP in, because 9 RP has worlds. So because there's different routes take you on different areas, I'm going to keep to one area at a time. And I'm going to start in Urban Legends. So that's where we're going to be starting, which thankfully, thanks to my review, I know how to get there. So yeah, we're gonna start in Urban Legends. The first route I'm going for is Cena, which surprised even me because the voice actor is one of my favorite voice actors, but his character is not my favorite character. So we're starting with that. And it's kind of sticking to least favorite to most favorite, kind of, with like one split in the middle of it. So then Ichia was like, I'll have the whole entire interior of my car reupholstered to suit you. Can you even believe that? I sat on Taiga's bed on one of his pillows as I complained about everything that happened lately. She could talk like this to Sumigi. She doesn't need to be here. She's just doing this.
全然望んでないのに。でもそんなこと言ったらあの人この世の終わりみたいな顔するし。
I don't need or want anything as ridiculous as that, but when I told him as much, his face fell. Like I told him the world is ending. I'll have a talk with him later.
それに、なゆたくんも騒がしいのよ。今日なんかリビングに行ったら。
And then there's Narata. Why is he constantly keeping his personal volume at 11 earlier in the living room? Taiga patiently listened to all my complaints, and I had a fair few with a long, suffering smile on his face. That alone was enough to alleviate some of my pressure.
それに、シオンさんも髪とか触って。あ、ねえ、ゴミ箱がいっぱいになってる。
So Shion came up and touched my hair without asking me, and your trash can is full?
Huh?
I'll empty it later.
それでね、髪を触ってきたと思ったら、今度はエステに行こうとか言うし。あの変な仮面、何?
She's easily distracted. I love her. Anyways, he touched my hair and says, we should go to the spa together sometime. What is that odd mask on the wall?
Amazon の部族のおっさんがくれた友情の証だってよ。
A guy from an Amazonian tribe gave it to me, said it's a sign of friendship.
なんだか不気味。夜とか怖くないの?
Welcome back! Getting through next. Oh, really? You've already started the next route? Are you on, like, the route to get to a route, or are you actually officially in one of the new routes? I need to know. I'm trying to keep track of this. Because honestly, I'm fine with the stories being short on Common Route Chapter 4. Okay, cool. Because if I can, hear me out. If I can, I'm going to be streaming 9 hours day one. I'm hoping I can at least get to an official route by that point. My fingers are crossed. All of them. All of my fingers are crossed. I want to do it. So, we'll see. We'll see. It looks kind of creepy. Doesn't it scare you at night? Leering in the dark and all?
いや、そんなことはねえけど。
Nah, but
で、お嬢、俺の部屋に馴染みすぎだろ。
You're getting way too comfortable in my room. I felt a muscle in my cheek twitch at Taiga's words.
そう?
Oh! I have to hope, but we might distract you with our comments. It's okay. I'm fine with that. I just know that, like, I have a goal. I just want to be able to try my best to finish it before Verche comes out. Because I'm still going to be playing this once 9 RIP comes out. The excitement will be high. I'm so excited for this game. Plus, it's the perfect game for October. Yeah. He didn't say anything, but his eyes told me this was a problem. I looked away. Welcome back! Thank you, Blue! Thank you for coming back!
だって、愚痴が言いたくなるんだもの。ストレスだってたまるし。
But I really need to vent to somebody. I'm under a lot of pressure in this house.
ストレスね。
Pressure, huh?
この共同生活にも慣れてきたとは思うの。でもやっぱり毎日彼らと一緒にいたらストレスが溜まってくるのよ。
Jay's goal is to have this entire game finished before we even get to start it. By the way, Blue, I can just tell. I'm starting to get used to living with so many people, yes, but being around them every single day is stressful.
つむぎにも話してるけど、すぐロマンスの話にしようとするし、春日も聞いてはくれるけど、結局最後はお説教になっちゃうし。
When I talk to Sumigi about it, she tries to spin my problems into a romance manga plot. Kasuga will listen to me, but he always winds up giving me a lecture.
で、俺か。
So you come to me. He sighed. I felt a tight little ball of ice clench in my stomach. I'm overdoing it, haven't I? He's annoyed. Honestly, I wasn't surprised at Taiga's pushback. I realized I'd visited him in his room with alarming frequency as of late. Unfortunately, I have work tomorrow, so I gotta sleep earlier. Oh no! I'm surprised you didn't call out for tomorrow. I didn't call out, I just made sure I wasn't working. I stayed up to 6 a.m. to finish Kurahe. Oh my goodness. That's dedication, honestly. It's been a while since I've stayed up to play a game. I was trying to play through Celestia while I was at my convention this weekend. And I won't lie, I feel like the story drags. We did 10 chapters, and I think we talked about it a little bit where like it felt like they were still unveiling lore after lore after lore in that game. And it didn't stop. And I just kind of feel like they could have cut back some of that and made the story a little faster, a little more cohesive in my mind. I was getting bored. I was like, oh. I'm like, oh really? This too? Okay. I thought I'd shown admirable restraint at first. That's how it felt to me. I heard that it's not even complete. I still haven't finished my first route. I don't know. You never actually get on a route, actually, from what I can feel. Because where I'm at, there's like a moment where you can pick one of the guys. So regardless of what you do, you get to that moment. So at no point does it spiral into a route. You just have a story you're playing through, and by the way, there's romance. So... Celestia, yeah. I was trying, because I can't stream past chapter 10. I was like, you know what? I can play it over the weekend. And I was like, man, I was just getting bored. It just needed to be shorter. Do you have a minute? I'd like to talk to you about something.
お嬢がわざわざ来るなんて珍しいね。いいぜ。そこ座んな。
Hey babe, it's not every day I'm gracing your presence up here. Sure, come in. And then she just does it every single day.
ねえ、タイガさん。
Hey Taiga.
どうした？またあいつらに困らされてんのか？
What's up? The guy's driving you up a wall again.
タイガさん、今ちょっといい？
I was turned off by how long and drawn out, so I'll just wait till it has a real good deal to get it. That's what I'd recommend. Like I said, it continues that way. It has yet. I can't remember what chapter I ended at. And I also hate that there's only 30 saves. So there's only 30 saves, and every single time you save, it takes you up to chapter your first save. It doesn't like follow you, kind of like this one does. Like if I go to my save right now, like if I go to save.
お嬢様成長記録ならお任せを。
Look where I'm at. I'm at save 70. It takes you to save 1 every single time. They haven't fixed that. I feel like that's a bug that needs to be fixed. But 2, only 30 saves. Oh, I'm not even done. And 2, there's pointless options. So there's some options that have absolutely no effect at all what's going to happen. And so it just slows the story down because now she gets to say something, and regardless of what she says, it basically is the same thing. So yeah, and you always get thrown right back up to save 1. And it also doesn't do the thing where if you're at the end of the saves and you push up, it takes you to the bottom of your saves. Nay, that'd be too easy. So yeah, I was basically saving in the top 4 spots only and hoping that it didn't take me down a bad route, because there's a bunch of bad endings in that game too. Some of them are obvious, and I try to unlock everything, so I was getting some obvious ones, but sometimes I got surprised. Oh man, yeah. Yes, I won't say that out loud, but yes. I was not, I mean, with how much there is, how many options there are versus how many saves there are is crazy. Surprisingly, I went for a bad ending. Oh my god, are you surprised? Oh my god. But like, it's just like simple things. Like, oh, should I stick my hand in this dog's mouth? I'm like, what could possibly go wrong? Do it. It's like, it's not that obvious, but like things like that. Like very like, should I use my body to protect him? Yeah, do that. Go and run in front of that attack that's happening. Oh no, you died? Oh, I can't believe you did. There is a lesbianish ending. She said very, but like it's a very shortish ending. That does happen. Do you have a minute?
お、構わねえけど。
Yeah, I guess so. We just keep breaking into his room. Taiga's done with us. He's so done with us.
タイガさん、ちょっと起きて。あの人たちったらひどいのよ。
Okay, she is going too far. Why is she going this far? Taiga, wake up, wake up, wake up. You won't believe that stunt they tried to pull this morning.
朝早くから勘弁してくれ
Is the sun even up yet? This poor man. She's over here just destroying his life. My restraint slipped a little further with every visit until it became habit for me to dash straight to his room whenever anything happened. And now, it's reached the point where I was too comfortable.
最近このパターン多い
My anxiety
つかお嬢も極端なんだよ
wouldn't be able to handle someone saying you're getting too comfortable. I would never want to talk to that person again. Like, oh, okay. Never talk to you again, got it. You've done it a lot lately too. It's really one extreme or the other with you, isn't it?
慣れるのに時間かかるくせして安心したらガンガン懐くコミュ障の典型だよな
Oh, is the scene coming up? How would I know? What does that mean? It takes you forever to warm up to a person, but as soon as you decide they're safe, you cling on to them. You've got some serious social issues going on. Taiga's blunt diagnosis stabbed me. He was wearing his typical smirk as he spoke, which told me he was probably only poking at teasing, but she just burst into tears. His expression turned to surprise when I said nothing.
なんだよ反論しねえのか
No retort, you feeling okay? She's like, Gomen Nasai. I was trying to say Shima-san, that's not the right one. Sayonara. Normally, I might have shot back at him, but right now it didn't feel like the correct thing to
さっ
do.
き春日にも言われたの。ほどほどにしろって。
Asuga told me the same thing too earlier. He told me not to overdo it.
ああそりゃまあ言うだろうな
Yeah,
春日なら
he would say something like that, wouldn't he? For some reason, Taiga looked conflicted. His gaze started wandering around the
やっ
room.
ぱり迷惑だった
Am I bothering you? He's blushing. I hesitantly looked over at him, surprising his cheeks had a hint of pink on them. It's
い
not.
やだからなお嬢俺が言いたいのはそういうことじゃなくて
Hang on, babe. That's not really what I'm trying to get at here. All right, tell me.
じゃあどういうこと
Then what are you getting at?
いやつまりそのこの部屋汚ねえし
Dude, if I panned left, there's like so much stuff in this room. The MC's voice actress is amazing. Honestly, yes. She's also the voice actress for Hatsune Miku in some of the video games they've released for her, which I think is cool. Basically, you see, my room is kind of a wreck.
知ってるもう慣れたわ
Oh, tell me, Lou! Hi!
部屋の乱れは心の乱れって
Forgot I changed the raid. That was our lovely Jinia. Welcome, welcome. What were you guys playing? Obviously, I've gotten used to it, but you really ought to consider tidying up. A disorganized living space is a sign of a disorganized mind. And
また今そういうのはいらねえそして問題はそこじゃね
I can't follow a lecture right now, thanks. Besides, maybe that isn't the problem after all. Hi, lovely. We're playing 7 Scarlet. Ooh! That's on my list. My list is so long. I'm excited that they're bringing the Switch port over, though.
問題って
Are you on a route yet? Or are you still in the common? How far have you gotten? I actually don't know how long that one is. Then what's the problem?
えだからなほらその不気味な仮面もあるし
The problem, it's, you know, that creepy mask might freak you out. Yeah.
問題ってそこ
Is that really the problem?
いや違うかな
We're moving to the true route tomorrow. Oh my gosh, kind of the same. This is my last route before the true route too. I'm so excited. Nice, you're so good. Wow, that's awesome. That's exciting. We're going to be playing 9 RIP tomorrow, so I'm literally going to be not playing this tomorrow. I'm just trying really hard to finish it before 9 RIP came out. Not really, I guess. I hope you have a lovely day. Just in case you can't stay out, understand, please. Please enjoy. Live translating from Japanese to English? Oh no. See, that's a gift I don't have. I don't have it. Although, actually, this is what I need. I need someone to tell me something. When he says babe, what is he saying? He's saying Ojo-san. And it's like, babe. I'm like, that's not what he's saying. Enjoy 9 RIP, it's so good. I'm so excited. We've been talking about it. Jay has already got her copy and she's on her 3rd route almost. Just not fair. Maybe not really, I guess. He's not. He's being so indirect right now. The invasive way, completely unlike. She stayed up till 6 a.m. yesterday, so she's working really hard. She got her copy early. This invasiveness was completely unlike him. It made me even more curious what was on his mind.
ねえ、何が言いたいの?
Bro, what is it, Taiga? Just say it. If I was a bother, I'd rather he simply out and said it. If I wasn't, I wanted to know what the problem was. Imagine him just saying, you are bothering me. And she's like, just say it. And then she just burst into tears instantly when he says it. I looked right at him earnestly, hoping my point got across. It must have, because he took an obvious steady breath and then opened his mouth to speak.
ここは俺の部屋だよな。
This is my room, right?
それ以外に誰がいるのよ?
Who else could it belong to?
で、お嬢は女だよな。今は夜だよな。
You're a girl, right? It's nighttime right now, correct?
そうだけど?
Yes. And? Oh, she's done improv.
もう一回言うぞ。ここは男の俺の部屋で、お嬢は女で、今は夜で。
Let's say that again. I'm a man. This is my room. You, a girl, are in my room at night.
座ってるそこは
Sitting on
俺
my
のベ
bed.
ッドの上だ。
So? I was starting to get irritated. Tiger looked squarely at me, his face growing solemn.
お嬢、俺のこと男だと思ってねえだろ。
This is the only time I accept this as a sentence. Babe, you don't see me as a man, do you? This is the only time. Any other time I cringe.
え?
Huh?
俺が男だってこと分かってねえだろ。
I'm a man, babe. And that isn't registering with you. I turned over his words in my head, my brow knitting together in confusion.
わかってるわよ、そんなこと。どこから見ても男の人じゃない。
Yes, it is. Of course you're a man. There's no mistaking that. Yeah, look at you. Man.
そういうことじゃねえんだよ。
You are not picking up on what I'm putting down. He dropped his face into his hands in frustration. Meanwhile, I was only growing more annoyed. What's up?
ちょっと。
Taiga.
ねえ、本当に何が言いたいの?
What on earth are you trying to say to me?
よくわからないことばかり言って、からかってるつもり? 私が迷惑ならそう言えば?
Are you just teasing me again? One second you say something vague, another second you say something obvious. If I bother you, just say so.
そうじゃねえよ。そうじゃねえけど。ここまで言ってもわかんねえとか。
Enjoy Barricade. I need to go for a good sleep after my stream. Enjoy 9 RIP. Alright, have a lovely time. I hope you enjoy the rest of 7 Scarlet. Bye! You aren't a bother. This isn't it. I'm spelling it out for you and you still don't get it. God.
私が悪いって言いたいの?
Are you saying it's my fault now? Oh, I love this.
違う。くそ
No.
もういい。わかった。だったら実地で教えてやるよ。わかりやすく。
I know what's about to happen. Because we've had this happen before. Was it? Wait, did I stream that? Wait, was that my next life as a villainess? It was my next, never mind. This was like, I didn't stream this part. But this happened in my life as a villainess. I remember now. That tears it. I'm gonna have to give you a practical lesson in what exactly I mean. One so obvious, it should even pierce your thick head. His arm shot forward, and I felt an impact on both of my shoulders. Oh my. The world flipped over my back, hitting something soft. Oh my stars. I would not mind this lesson from him. Oh, goodness. All of a sudden, Taiga's face drew close to mine, the ceiling visible past his
Nani?
shoulders.
してるの？
What are you doing? She's just like, excuse me. We were having a conversation. Can you please explain? Was he doing what I thought he was? No, he couldn't. He wouldn't.
俺がお嬢を
Oh,
押し
Joe.
倒してる。
Okay. Now he's trying to talk seductively. I hate the whole I'm a man and I can't be trusted because men have urges, they can't control themselves nonsense. I don't think it's that. I think it's you've become really comfortable coming into my room every single day at night. Honestly, I kind of thought this would come up in Shion's route because she was going to Shion's room every single night. Then they were hugging. Wink. But I don't know. They have like their own personal space. And she is technically invading it. They're not going out to coffee. She's literally going into his bedroom. I feel like your bedroom is kind of a sacred place to you. Maybe for me it is. I mean, I'm like the only person that goes in my bedroom. This isn't my bedroom, by the way. This is our game room. So like, it's usually just me in there. Very rarely does someone else step foot in there. And I don't know. When someone does, I kind of get like... I have very obviously pinned you to my bed, babe. Oh, first off. Taiga spoke slowly, enunciating each word clearly, as their meanings gradually sunk in and my cheeks suddenly burnt hot as embers.
どいて。離れて。
Let go of me. Get off.
嫌だね。
Don't wanna. Isn't he looking like Hisoka now? Wait. Do I like that more or less? I can't tell. I wiggled desperately trying to shove Taiga's arms away and push him off, but no matter how hard I struggled, I couldn't get him to budge an inch. Panic started to seep in and I went stiff. Taiga slowly leaned forward, bringing his lips to my ear. Babe, what is that? Warm breath wafted across my ear, my eyes squinched shut involuntary.
密室、二人きり、しかもベッドの上。本当はお嬢も分かってんだろ。
This honestly is funnier because over the weekend, me and my sister went to a convention, and it's the same staff I work for, and we all usually pile into one room at the end of the night, to play games and stuff. And this is basically there was 6 people on one bed. I mean, if you think of it that way, sounds really inappropriate out loud, but in actuality, it was just us playing Jackbox. It's night, a closed room. We're alone. We're on my bed. You get what that means, right?
この状況だったら何されても文句は言えねえよな。
Ooh, okay, Taiga, no. No, 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 no. 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 I know he's trying to teach her danger, right? I get that. That's a thing. But like, don't say that. You put yourself here. You realize that by doing that, you've pretty much given up the right to complain. I felt my breath grow shorter as Taiga whispered words, but I firmly tamped down my urge to shiver.
そんなこと許されるわけないでしょ。
I would never permit you to do something like that. I couldn't physically remove him, so I settled for glaring at him. I can certainly say I understand what he was trying to tell me now. A girl shouldn't visit a man's room so casually. I ought to exercise more modesty. That's what he meant. And yes, he did have a point. I was aware that I was making myself far too comfortable here. But he could have simply told me as much. He didn't have to mess with me like this.
お嬢が許そうが許すまいが関係ねえよ。スイッチ入ったら止まんねえの男で。逃げ遅れたら食われて終わり。
No. Why? This is the one I say for last. Are you for real? Everyone talked about him being great. You can't say things like this and be my favorite. It doesn't work that way. Doesn't matter if you permit me or not. Once a man is in the mood, he may not stop. You either get the hell out of there or you get got. You got? Oh, that's too many words. You got.
さて、
I'm thinking about you
どうして
get
だ
it.
ろうかね。まずはキスでもしてみるか。
The question now is, what should I do with you? Some kissing might be a good start. I think this is the only thing that bothered me about his route. It's one thing to be like, show her a lesson, but like show her a lesson and stay in this position and then start like describing things. You've gone too far. Too confused and frustrated to think straight, all I could do was bite my lip. Now that I thought about it, he'd pulled a similar move on me before. That's not the same at all. This is not the same. He was protecting you from getting crushed in a subway. Yeah, he did flirt creepily at the same time, but he was just protecting your ass. I'd be traumatized. My trust would be in the negatives. Honestly, my trust was already dropping. The moment he's like, you're getting too comfortable, if someone tells me that, I'm like, oh shit, you're right. Because I thought like we were friends or something like that. You know what I mean? So if you feel like I'm getting too comfortable, then I'm gonna back all the way the fuck off. I don't think I've ever been told that, to be clear. But like if someone told me that, devastating. He deliberately leaned his face close to mine, drawing entertainment from my panic. All he ever thinks about is new ways to liven up his life at my expense. No doubt he was beyond amused at how frustrated I was. Was that a flashback? Was that part of the flashback?
なんだよ。意外と余裕だな。いつもみたいに慌てねえのか?
Just start crying. If she just starts crying right now, Taiga, you're an asshole. You're actually pretty composed this time. What, you aren't going to panic like
そ
usual?
れとも期待してんの?
Or what? Are you expecting something? I gathered every last ounce of my willpower so that I could speak with a steady, confident voice. Ah,
忘れないよ。君の感触。
that's a weird thing to say when you're open a save screen. That.
残念でした。あなたのからかいにはもう慣れました。そう何度も慌てるわけないでしょ。
Unfortunately for you, I'm already used to all the ways you try to tease me. I'm not gonna panic for your amusement every time, you know? For a moment, Taiga's eyes widened. Seeing this, I knew I'd won. I felt a smirk start to twitch at my lips, but then...
ほ
Is that so? That's not what he said. He just said,
Why?
who?
う
What?
からかわれてるだけだって本気で思ってんのか? ここまでされて
Do you really think I'm just teasing you? I go this far and you think it's all just a joke?
いいぜそう思っててもただし
Sure, go ahead. Think that if you want. But he leaned down, brushing my ear with his lips again.
痛い目見てから泣いても遅いぜこれ忠告な
This makes my stomach ache. Oh man. You'll cross a line where it'd be too late for regret. Just a friendly warning. Kick him. The sweet lit to his whisper was completely unlike the voice he used when he teased me. But he also sounded nothing like when he was being honestly kind. As a reminder, this is the voice of our up and coming 9R RIP Incubus character. This is going to be our Incubus. A 9R RIP. I guess he should know how to whisper in someone's ear, but this is also very ick.
痛い目って何？
Too late? Regrets? What do you mean?
ね
Taiga?
え。ねえってば！
Speak, Taiga!
残念だったな手を
He's gonna tickle her, isn't he? He's gonna friggin' tickle her, isn't he? Sorry, babe, it's too late. Taiga's face, he was leaning closer. He's not really going
こっ
to
ち見ろよ
look at me. Oh, no. I was stiff from shock, utterly unable to move. A cold shiver shuddered down my spine.
いや、ねえ、ちょっと本当に嫌だってば。
Don't, please? Just don't. I really don't want this.
やだやだ、もう嫌！
Oh my god, that was so loud. Was that loud for you? That was loud for me. My headphones are low, bro. Please don't.
あ
It's a different face. I can never tell when there's such small changes. Suddenly, Taiga heaved a heavy sigh of exasperation. Confused, I looked at
強
him.
がりも大概にしとけよな。この程度でビビってるくせに。
Don't bluff like that, babe. Not if you're gonna fall apart if I pretend to call you on it. He kept looking at me, not saying a word and not moving an inch. His eyes were solemn, serious. It was so unlike him I couldn't help but lie still and
もう一
stare.
回言うぞ。俺は男で、お嬢は女。
I'll say it one more time, babe. I'm a man, you're a woman.
毎晩のように男の部屋に通って、二人きりで過ごしてたら、どんな間違いが起こるかわかんねえだろ。
If you keep coming to a man's room practically every night, spending tons of time alone with him, there's no telling what might eventually happen.
もっとちゃんと危機感を持って
Exercise a bit of caution, would you? Taiga's admonished. Oh my gosh. I can speak. I know words. Like, hear me out. Taiga's admonished caused annoyance and curiosity to well up inside me in equal parts. First and foremost, he was forgetting a major point. Didn't he remember why I was coming here and why I felt so comfortable in his
私
company?
だってわかってる。女の子が男の人の部屋へ行くこ
It
とに
really was loud because now I
危
can
機感
barely hear.
を持つべきだと思うわよ。
I know that much, and I do agree. A girl shouldn't visit a gentleman's room lightly, especially if she's alone.
でも、あなたはそういうんじゃないでしょ。
But it's different with you, right?
あなたはおじい様の友人で監視役で、それに私を落とす気なんかないって自分で言ってたじゃない。
Your grandfather's friend. You're just an observer here. You aren't really trying to court me. You said so yourself.
も
Oh, we embarrassed him.
Eh?
Huh? Taiga's cheeks flushed pink for some reason. My heart rate picked up slightly.
ちょっとなんで赤くなるのよ。
Why are you blushing?
うなってねえよ。俺は別に
His voice is so gravelly. What just happened? I'm not blushing, and it's not like that.
落とす気はねえよ。多分。
I'm not trying to date you, I think?
多分
You think? My voice almost climbed to a new octave. Taiga suddenly seemed to find interesting things to look at on the wall.
言ってるのよ。早く否定しなさい。
What are you talking about? Deny it right now.
いや、
I
だら
think he says. It's not like that, okay? Oh my god, this guy.
つまり、たまに可愛い顔を見せられると、グッとくることあんだろ。
Dude, you can't say things like that in this position. Like, stop it. I'm just saying that, sometimes you get this cute look on your face and it kind of does things to me. That's it. Cute?
無防備に距離
You
詰めら
think
れた
I'm
ら、
cute?
そこそこドキッとするっつうか。
When someone acts vulnerable around me, yeah, my heart sometimes skips a beat. It's a weakness, okay? His heart skips a beat?
とにかく、
Anyways, he's filling in all the blanks like she's saying it all out loud. Oh my god.
俺もどうなるかわかんねえってことだ。
Even I don't know what's gonna happen, okay? Try to at least understand that much. He doesn't know?
ちょっと待って。
Oh my god, he looks a little demonic right now. What is that expression? Is that a kink? You know what? Isn't that what we call this? It's variable kinky. Like, they're all got their own kink, right? Ichia is praise. Ichia likes to be praised. He's got a praise kink. Nadata has a step on me kink. I don't know what that kink's called. Shihan, what is Shihan's kink? Oh, I can be whatever you want to be. Variable kinks. I'm adding it to the list. Came up with that one together. His is just when you look cute, it's a kink. Wait a minute. I held both of my hands up, signaling Taiga to stop while I tried to get my whirling thoughts under control. If I look back over everything he just said and think about his choice of words, he's basically saying that he sees me as a woman. And I came in his room nearly every night feeling comfortable and safe. And there's something about the way he said I'm cute. It felt different from the other times he said it.
俺も男だ。 あんま油断すんな。頼むから。
It was blocked for you, really? Do you have under 18? Like, what's your settings? My settings don't block any of the mature words. It's like, you're too mature for this. You get all of it. I'm still a man. So don't get too cozy. Seriously, don't. Please.
だって
But you're
タイガさんは
Taiga.
タイガさんじゃない。
You're just Taiga. Blue, that was too dirty for Twitch.
だから俺も男なんだっつうの。
But like I said, I'm still a guy, okay? That meant my cheeks burned. I couldn't say a thing. Can anybody hear them in this room squawking? Taiga still leaning over me, continued to avoid looking me in the eye. Could you get off of me now? Awkward silence fell. After a moment, he slowly sat up without saying a word. I followed suit. Unable to take the quiet any longer, I stood. I made a deliberate effort to avoid Taiga's eyes.
それじゃあ
So, I better go. It took everything in me to squeeze those words out. I struggled to maintain my dignity as I left his room. What do you mean? Where are your clothes? My heart still hurts. I rubbed my breastbone? Well, that's... I mean, and I took a few deep breaths. Okay. It shocked me when he pushed me down on his bed, but the one thing that surprised me most was...
つまり、たまに可愛い顔を見せられると、グッとくることは。
The cute face you make does things to me. What does he mean, cute look? After all that teasing, after treating me like a child, after saying he had no interest in being my suitor, after all that, he sees me as a woman after all? Plot twist. My face burned. I felt a wave of dizziness overcome me. My head began to swim, so I closed my eyes. It wasn't as if I hadn't been called cute before, but the words never came across as more than a compliment. This, though, I've never felt so embarrassed in my life. I hurried back to my room as fast as my unsteady legs would carry me. Oh my gosh. Clear. A conciliatory? What is that? Why are we making up words? What would you do that for? Conciliatory Flan? Okay. I read that wrong, but that's okay. Give me a meaning on that one, please. Listen, I have a talent, all right? It's called dyslexia. And it does a couple things to me. One, I read sentences wrong. Sometimes I just take letters and move them, or just they're gone. They're gone. Hey, how late do you plan to stream? I plan to stream until I'm at least done with this board. But if I finish this board and it's like in 3 hours, I might keep going. So if I'm done in 3 hours, I'll keep playing. Because I do want to try and get a little bit further into Taiga's route. The next morning, my body went through my normal morning routine, but my mind raced as I thought about last night's events. And partially that's because I want to do 9-hour stream tomorrow, but I don't have a stream for Thursday? Yeah, I won't have a stream on Thursday. But Wednesday, I will have an evening stream, and that's just because I'm doing a morning shift instead of a closing shift, so I will be doing a nighttime stream on Wednesday, but I won't have a stream at all on Thursday. So I'm trying to get as much going as I can. I'm aware I probably relied on Taiga for far too many things. And yes, I probably went to his room too often, and I guess I might have acted too casual around him. I needed to correct my behavior, and Taiga had tried to bring it to my attention, but he didn't really have to go that far. My cheeks burned at the thought of what happened in my bed in the bedroom. I had no idea how I was supposed to handle that. How long do you plan to stay up playing 9 RIP, Jay? That's another good question. Time is it right now, Jay? You have work in the morning. What time do you have to be at work? To make things worse, if my behavior up until now had been improper, how am I supposed to act around him? Being cautious? Him calling me cute? What was he trying to do to me? There was a knock and nearly jumped out of my
お嬢
skin.
様、そろそろ朝食を召し上がりませんと。
I can play late since I work from home tomorrow. I just picture that as a maniacal laughter. Jay is going to be over here playing 9 RIP as I struggle through being part of a variable kink show. That sound worse than anything we've said, actually. Miss Leah, if you don't come down for breakfast shortly, we may find ourselves pressed for time.
今行くわ。
I'm on my way. She's gonna be so embarrassed. It's only 7 p.m. Hey, it's only 7 p.m. here. Are we on the same time zone? Did you have a time change? Did you fall back? Wait, when did time zone change? Not time zone. Daylight savings happen. I don't do that here. Leaving my room was the first step, but I had no clue how I was supposed to react if I ran into Taiga. I'll be fine. He's undoubtedly still asleep. He never is awake at this hours. Hey, babe. I yelped with a start. Taiga stood behind me looking confused.
ビビりすぎだろ。
We're changing November. All right, well then in November, you're going to be an hour behind me. Yeah, you're gonna fall back, but I will not. I will stay the same. You didn't have to act that surprised.
なんでこんな朝早くに起きてるの？
Why are you awake? You're never up at this hour of the morning. I'm unemployed currently and sleep evades me. You know what? Those are two different things. Also, I'm excited for RIP tomorrow. See? Yeah. And your copy is coming tomorrow. Wait, did you get the normal or did you get the special edition? I only got the normal. That's the only edition I could get. Well, it's not the only edition I could get. Let me phrase that right. It's the edition I got. Blue can surpass me. That's right, Blue. You can beat Jay because Jay has to go to work. And so Jay can't play nonstop. I regret not getting the limited edition now. I know that Otome Kitten did a review of it. I haven't watched their review, but honestly, I've seen IFI open the box and it looks so cute. I like art books. I didn't need the fan, but it's a cute box. I like the box. You're awake? You're never up this early.
規則正しい生活しろって前に説教かましたのは誰だって？
Who was it who lectured me on rising with the sun and living a more disciplined lifestyle?
それは。
なんだよ、どうした？変だぞ、今
You're
日
acting
のお嬢。
really weird, babe.
おう、なる
Oh.
ほど。そういうことか。昨日のね。
What a jerk. Oh my god. Taiga, don't call me out like that. I get it. Last night, that's right, huh? How can he be so calm? I held back my budding annoyance, trying my best to keep my voice calm.
そう。
Yes,
昨日のことだけど、
about last night.
ん？
あれはお互い忘れましょう。あなたもその方がいいでしょう。
Oh, the art book had a character page and walkthrough and a few short stories. Not too much, pretty short. So probably won't start soon. Oh wait, sorry. My brain skipped a whole line. I plan to get common and subcommittees routes done. And do the school ones. Wait, and do the school one on Halloween for extra spookiness. That's actually cute though. See, my dream, which probably isn't gonna come true, is to be at least halfway done by Halloween. I want to have 4 of the 8 routes done. Question mark, 4.5 of the routes done. Question mark, secret route, question mark. I don't know anything about it yet, question mark, because I refuse to see anything or read anything about the secret route, question mark. We'll see. Let's forget. Anything happened, alright? I'm sure that would be more convenient for you too, I quietly mumbled that, hoping no one overheard. Taiga smirked and lifted his chin, thinking.
さて、どうすっかな。あ
Uh,
のお嬢も可愛かったしな。
I don't know, you looked awfully cute, babe.
ちょっと
Hey,
お、今日も赤くなってんのか。
are you gonna blush for me again?
何よ、自分だって昨日は赤くなってたじゃない。しかもらしくないこと言って。
That's clip Leah saying what she wants completed by and see what happens. That's so mean. Oh god. It'll be Halloween and I haven't even gotten through a single route yet. I'm just in tears, shaking. You were blushing too, you know, and you said all kinds of things that you usually wouldn't be caught dead saying.
はいはい、そうだったな。
Yeah, I sure did. Taiga rolled his eyes and turned away. He headed up the
ちょ
stairs.
っとどこ行くの？
Wait, where are you going?
俺、これから寝るとこだから。
I'm off
じ
to
ゃ、
get some
おや
sleep.
すみ。
Good night. I could only stand there and watch as he climbed the steps first to the second floor. He was going to sleep now. What was he saying about a disciplined lifestyle? No, not only that, he's done it again. Calling me cute? Gross.
もう
Ugh. Would you ever get tired of would he ever get tired of teasing me? With nowhere else to project my annoyance, I gave the floor a good solid stomp. Did you break the tile? Lunchtime, as usual, I sat together with Sumiki. Absolutely fed up with Taiga, I took this opportunity to vent all my frustrations about him. And then, he called me
前から
cute.
偉そうな俺様だとは思ってたけど、本当に少年から偉そうなんだから、危機感持てなんてお説教できる立場？
She was not ready for this. I always knew he had a bad attitude, but this really took the cake. Where does he get off telling me to be more careful? He's so arrogant.
せっかく最近ちょっといい人かと思って見直してたのに、やっぱりあの人はただの俺様ニートよ。
I just started thinking he might be a decent person too, but no, I take it all back. He's nothing but an unemployed layabout with insufferable attitude. Sumiki quietly absorbed my litany. A weary smile curled her lips
イスル
slightly.
ギさんと何かありまして？ここ最近は随分お慕いしていらっしゃるように見えましたのに。
I presume something happened between you and Mr. Isurigi. I thought you'd been rather fond of his company as of late.
喧嘩でもなさったんですな。
Did you have an argument? Her smile turned gentle. I paused for a moment, then started to speak.
最近愚痴を聞いてもらってたの。事情も知ってるし、協力してくれるって本人も言ってたし。
I've been going to him to vent lately. He knows my situation and he even volunteered to help me.
ええ、それで？
Indeed, and
それで他の人に聞かれたくないし、毎晩のように
well,
お部屋にね。
I didn't want the others to overhear, so I go to his room almost every night.
お部屋？
To his room?
そうしたら昨日急に夜に軽々しく男の部屋に来るなって言われ
But
て。
then, last night, can you believe this? He had the audacity to ask me to act so casual about visiting his room. Sumigi sighed and shook her
そ
head.
こは怒るところではありませんわ。むしろ感謝すべきです。
Madam Leah, that is not something that should upset you. In fact, you should be grateful to Taiga for his lesson.
でもタイガさんは監視役なのよ。
But
安心して何がいけないの？
He's an observer. Why shouldn't I feel safe and secure around him?
よろしいですか？男は皆狼ですのよ。
This is a bad lesson. This is not a good lesson for kids, guys. Madam Leah, listen, this is important. You must remember all men are ravenous wolves.
監視役であれ何であれ、イスルギさんも立派な殿方ですわ。
Observer or not, underneath it all, Mr. Isugi is still a gentleman.
そんな状況だったらうっかり押し倒すくらいのこと。
In that type of situation, even he might be tempted to accidentally push you down on his bed. What?
Eh?
Huh? Sumiki looked at me unblinking. I looked away from
それ
her.
で
And I prompted Sumiki to continue, unsuccessfully pretending that nothing had just happened. She gave me a curious look and then continued to speak. Her tone was gentle, but I was clearly being
イ
lectured.
スルギさんはあなたに大事なことを伝えてくれたありがたい方ですわ。
Mr. Isoguri, I can't even say his name. Taiga taught you a very important lesson. It's only proper to be thankful.
本来ならば言いにくいことをはっきり伝えるのは気が引けるはず。
It's a delicate subject. Most people would be hesitant to speak so plainly about it.
まさか図星だからといって八つ当たりで逆ギレなんてしてませんわよね。
And he was spot on too. I assume you didn't snap at him for offering you that important lesson. That would be terribly rude, correct?
してないわよ。
Of
そんな
course
こと。
not. I would never. I had snapped, of course. I just couldn't say so. From underneath him, I might add. I mustn't snap. I must act normal, naturally. I repeated that in my head like a mantra, taking deep breaths as I got out of the car. Normal, natural, normal,
お嬢様、
natural. Miss
おか
Leah,
ばんをお持ちします。
allow me to take your
あ
bag.
りがとう。
Normal, natural. Thank you. I must be calm, serene.
お嬢、今帰りか？
Hey, babe, just got back. I hurriedly turned in the direction of the voice and saw Taiga casually strolling towards me. Be natural, normal. I surreptitiously took a deep breath and then exhaled, opened my mouth to
あな
speak.
たはお出かけ？いいご身分ね。
Are you heading out? Well, isn't that special? How stupid am I? How stupid am I? We're watching a TV show called My So-Called Life, and it's so... There's some parts of it that are just like, okay, what the hell? But there's some moments where she's like... She says something so on par for like what a teenager would say, and then she has internal monologuing. So she'd be like, you're wearing a green shirt. Why the fuck did I just say that? What did I just say that for? And then like she had like this uncomfortable conversation and they're already parting ways and she's like, I left my textbook. He wasn't taking you home. And then she's like, what? I'm just like, what's happening? Oh man, she does it so often, it's so funny. But that's what this feels like. After how hard I'd pushed myself to stay relaxed and act naturally.
相変わらずツンツンしてんな。ちょっとは肩の力抜けって。
Somebody's as prickly as a pear. You really ought to learn how to relax, babe.
ケナお世話よ。
I didn't ask for your advice.
はいはい。
Yeah. I was annoyed at how I couldn't seem to stop myself from being snippy around him. Unsure what I might accidentally say next, I simply glared at him and kept my mouth shut.
ほんと、わかりやすいな。
Seriously, you're easier to read than a large print book.
何が？
And what does that mean?
なんでもねえよ。
Nothing. Tiger rolled his eyes, his voice irreverent for some reason. The irreverent gesture pricked at me. I still didn't know what to say, so instead I turned and hurried away into the house. Like running. I ran inside. After dinner, hoping for some quiet time to collect my thoughts, I slipped past the others and went out into the yard. This isn't going well at all. I sighed, looking down at the grass right then. Something cold touched my cheek. I turned my eyes back to see Taiga holding out a cup of flan.
これ、やる。
Take it.
ありがとう。
Thanks. I hesitated a moment and then took the offering. As I did, Taiga settled down next to me. I glanced down at the cup of flan and noticed writing on the side of the plastic. In large letters, it said Taiga.
これ名前書いてある。
Your name is on this one. She should be like, I can't eat it. It's got your name on it. When Taiga wrote his name on something, there was a reason. Oh, is he gonna write his name on her? Wait. Wait. Is this all leading up to him writing his name on her somewhere? Are they gonna have a weird moment? Is this getting kinky again? Wasn't this something he didn't want to give up? I looked back up at Taiga. He grinned lazily and shrugged.
別にいいだろう。俺のもんを俺がお嬢にやるんだから。
Am I right?
Oh,
Blue
spoon.
knows the answer. Go on, it's mine, so I can do what I want with it. I want to give it to you here. Spoon.
ここで？
Now?
黙って食え。安物だけど結構うまい。
Shut up and eat, would ya? It's the cheap stuff, yeah, but it's still pretty good. I tugged off the foil lid as I first, if this is flan, all right, they're calling it pudding, and I know pudding and flan are the same thing, but they are eaten differently. You pour flan out onto something so that the caramel glaze is now on top. You don't just eat it with a spoon out of the container. So is it flan or is it pudding? I took the teeny plastic spoon and scooped. Why is it a teeny plastic spoon? And scooped out a bite. It's tasty. Compared to the flan I normally had, its texture was poor and it lacked any depth of flavor. But there was something strangely comforting about it because apparently I too lived in an orphanage and ate this all the time.
どうだい？結構いけるだろう。
Good stuff, right?
そうね。
I suppose so. I quietly scooped out another bite and started to panic inwardly. This flan was clearly meant to open an opportunity. Given his job on the inside, Taiga couldn't afford to let our relationship stay awkward for long. And he was skilled at conscientious gestures like this, but I'm afraid that if I open my mouth, I'll just say something rude to him. Even spoonfuls of flan, every spoonful of flan I scooped from the cup pushed at me like a ticking of a clock. The thin layer of watery caramel sauce on the bottom, which should be on top because you're supposed to pour that out, had seeped into the flan lighter tan layers when Taiga suddenly asked me a question.
今日も俺の部屋来るか？
So gonna come to my room tonight?
すっげえ顔。
The look on your face.
当たり前でしょ。行くわけないじゃない。
This somehow surprises you? Of course I'm not gonna go. Why would I?
まあそうだよな。昨日の今日だもんな。
Yeah, after what happened last night, I knew you'd decline.
でも愚痴はたまるんだろ？吐き出し口ねえと困るんじゃねえの？
But you gotta vent, right? If you don't, all that stress builds up. Isn't that how it goes?
別に
Not really. Yes, having someone like Taiga to whom I can air my grievances was extremely important to me. Simply knowing that I didn't have to put up with it all, that there was someone I could go to for help, took a weight off my shoulders. Maybe it wasn't really because I wanted to vent. Maybe I was only looking for an excuse to spend time together with him because it's fun. If I made excuses about needing to complain, I could go see Taiga and talk with him whenever I wanted. That realization slowly sank into me. Just because it's fun doesn't mean I could get carried away and lean on him too much. That's what he was getting at, wasn't it?
もういいの。
I'm fine now. I carried another bite of flan to my mouth. The mild sweetness kept sour words at bay, I guess. Once I finished the little cup, I would apologize to him, then we could go back to the way we used to be. Just as I cemented that thought in my mind.
バーカ、それじゃ俺がつまんねえだろ。
Come on, you're really gonna leave me alone?
前にも言ったよな。お嬢に懐かれんのは悪い気しねえって。
Again, I'm not in control of this story. I'm not writing it. It's already been written. But I mean, when you light a match, right, and you set a bridge on fire, you don't usually get across it again. Usually. Even if you do get across it again, after setting it on fire, it's usually very fragile. So keep that in mind when you burn something. I told you before that I don't mind you opening up
まあ
around
ちょっ
me.
と極端なとこはあれだが、なんだかんだで楽しかったんだぜ。お嬢の愚痴聞くのもさ。
Your tendency to deal in absolutes is exhausting, but it's still fun listening to blow off steam. Listen, I am an absolute kind of girl. It's a yes or no question. You're
嘘。
kidding.
嘘じゃねえよ。まあ、あんま無防備すぎるのもやばいと思って注意はしたけどさ。
No, I'm serious though. You probably shouldn't be so open with me. Doing so might lead you down some dangerous roads. That's why I gave you that warning. He paused, running his hand through his hair in a gesture that was part nerves, part embarrassment.
うまい言い方してやれなくて荒療治になっちまったが、俺も少しやりすぎたよな。
I couldn't find the right words to say what I needed to say, so I kind of resorted to drastic measures. I pushed it a little too far, didn't I? Honestly, you pushed it enough and then you kept pushing. Like you made your point and then you kept going. It becomes redundant at that point.
怖い思いさせて
Sorry to scare you like that. His sudden kindness left me at a loss for
あんなこ
words.
ともうしねえから。あと常識的な時間と頻度だったらまた俺の部屋に来いよ。
Still saying it's too much. He still said it's too much. I won't do anything like that again, I swear, and I don't mind if you come by my room again as long as it's in a reasonable hour and maybe not so often.
でも
No. Just say no. Girl, say no.
もう十分意識したみたいだし。
I mean, it's obvious my lesson sank in, right? There it was. Taiga's familiar mischievous smirk surfaced again as he peered at me from the corner of his eye. Aw.
行かない。
I'll never go to your room again.
なんでだよ。遠慮すんなって。
Why not? Don't be shy.
行かないったら行かないの。
I said I won't, so I won't.
えいえい。じゃあまあ、寂しくなったらいつでも来いよ。待ってるからな。
Yeah, yeah. Drop on whenever you feel lonely and want my company. I'll be there for you. And with that, he got up and went back in the house. Filled with awkward emotions I couldn't put a name to, I dashed back to my own room. I went straight to my bed and dived into it face first.
もう
That man! I flailed my feet against the covers like a child throwing a tantrum, but the strange emotion held fast to my heart. My heart! I didn't even get to thank him. Don't thank him. Not only that, I cornered him to making his apology. And I even forgot to say thanks for the flan. I'm so embarrassed with myself. Why could I never act like a normal person around him? I always seem to mess up. The harder I tried to ignore him, the less I knew how to act. I automatically wound up saying nasty things to him because I wanted to hide how flustered I was. How had this happened? It wasn't long ago that I'd been able to talk to him like a normal person. I pulled out my phone, still unsure of how to handle the weird feeling roiling in my chest. I need to ask Tsumiki for advice. How do I even bring it up? What's going on with me? What am I supposed to do? I dove under my bed covers in a desperate attempt to escape from the confusion tumbling around in my head. The gambler. I feel like this is gonna be, it says there's a picture, but I feel like it's gonna be one of those cute ones instead of like a real one. My weekends had always been busy days full of activity. Since I moved into the house with the others, they'd only become busier. The weekend was an exception. Maybe it's because Ichiya and Narita are out for the weekend. Those two account for most of the noise here. Thinking on that, I headed towards the living room. I bumped into Taiga on his way out.
タイガさんも出かけるの？
Taiga, are you going out too?
お、気になるか？
Curious?
どうせパチンコか何かでしょ？
No, you're probably just going to blow money on pachinko. I didn't try to hide my exasperation. He gave me a weird look and shook his
パ
head.
チンコ？なもん興味ねえよ。どうせやるなら海外のカジノとか宝くじじゃなきゃ面白くねえし。
Pachinko? Meh, not my thing. If I'm gonna take a chance, I'd rather hit up a foreign casino or play a lottery or something. Everything else is boring. What?
でも
But his background report called him a gambling addict. If he was addicted to gambling, wouldn't any game of chance scratch his itch? My brow furrowed as I puzzled over the thought. Taiga must have read my mind because he nodded and went, ah.
よし、予定変更。じゃあ、これからカードゲーム大会だ。
Right, change of plans, babe. You and I are gonna have a little card game competition.
何よいきなり。
Where did this come from all of a sudden?
どうせ暇だろ？
It's not like you have any other plans, right?
だからってなんで急に？
Very sudden.
よし、じゃあ決まりだな。着替えて必要なもん持ってくるから、 リビングで待ってろ。
Great, that settles that. I'll go get changed, grab what I need, wait for me in the living room, okay? Okay.
ちょっと
Hey, Taiga didn't respond as he dashed up the stairs. He's always so demanding. With my schedule decided for me, I plopped into the living room. Shion was present drinking tea with swan-like grace.
小鳥ちゃんもど
Would you care for some tea too, Leah? He gestured smoothly to the teapot on the table, but I shook my head.
今からタイガさんとカードゲームをすることになって。よかったらシオンさんも。
I've been informed I'm playing cards with Taiga in a moment. You can join us if you'd like. Shion smiled and set his teacup down on the table.
う僕は遠慮しておくよ
I think I'll pass, thank you.
最近の小鳥ちゃんはタイガと仲良しになったと思ったら急にツンツンしたりしてたから
I thought you and Taiga had been getting along better, but you've been acting unusually prickly towards him lately.
この機会に二人きりで落ち着いて話をしたらいいんじゃない
This would be a lovely opportunity for the two of you to spend time alone together and talk. This doesn't sound like someone who's trying to get me to be affectionate with them.
え
I blinked at Shion in confusion. He stood without a sound and glided out of the room. Practically floated. As he passed me, he quietly said,
頑張ってね
Good luck.
それじゃ
See ya. As he disappeared through the door, a good deal of tension lifted off my shoulders. Shion is frighteningly perceptive.
待たせたな。
Sorry to make you wait.
ここのテーブルじゃ低いし、ダイニングでやるか。ん？お嬢？
The coffee table's too low. What say we go play on the table in the dining room, huh, babe? I sat in silence, not saying a word. Curious and confused, Taiga leaned over and looked at me. I quickly got up, not sure I could keep the embarrassment off my face. I practically dashed to the dining
早
room.
くダイニングに行くんでしょ
We're going to the dining room table, right? Why wait? Come on.
はいはい。
Yeah. She's like, I'm so embarrassed. He followed me into the dining room and we took seats opposite each other at the table.
じゃ、手始めにポーカーからな。
Alright, let's say we
Rude,
start with a
daijoubu
quick
ka?
hand of poker. You're familiar with the rules, yeah? I nodded, my eyes immediately drawn to Taiga's hand and the deck of cards in them. He deftly shuffled the deck. The brightly colored cards made a pleasant hissing noise as they danced between his fingers. He's rather practiced at shuffling. As I watched him effectively cut the cards, I was struck by a curious thought.
さっきのことだけど
Say about earlier.
タイガさんってギャンブルなら何でもやる人なんだと思ってたでもそうじゃないんでしょ
I'd taken you for someone who loves gambling in all forms, but you said that you're a bit particular about what you like to play.
ああ、日本の公営ギャンブルじゃロマンがねえからな。
Yeah, Japan's government regulated gambling lacks any sense of adventure.
ロマン
Adventure? How so?
どうせかけるんだったら、もっとでかい夢にかけたいだろ。
If I'm gonna be plucking down bets, why not dream big? Big stakes, big
それこ
prizes.
そ、一発当てりゃ何人もの人生が丸ごと変えるくらいのな。
Prizes big enough to set you up for life if you manage to win them.
だから海外じゃいろいろやったぞ。カードにルーレット、ドッグレース、スポーツブック。
So I went overseas and tried my luck at all kinds of stuff: cards, roulette, dog racing, sports games.
どれも日本とは比べ物にならない規模のスリルと賞金で、そりゃ興奮したもんだ。これでもベガスじゃ結構稼いだんだぜ。
The scale and the prize pools for those games dwarfed anything you'll see in Japan. Damn, it was thrilling. Did you know I made a killing in
う
Vegas?
ーん
Did you?
その顔、信じてねえだろ。
I know that look. You don't believe me, huh?
だってそんなに稼いだなら今ここにいないでしょ
If you really made a killing, you wouldn't be here right now.
ああ、まあそうなるか。でもそこそこ当てたのは嘘じゃねえよ。
Technically, I guess, but I did hit it kinda big. Really? Taiga gave me a bitter grin and shrugged. A short, awkward silence fell, which he broke with a cough.
じゃ、始めるぞ。
Anyway,
かけるのはこのおもちゃのチップ。
Let's
これ
get
はあくま
started,
で
shall
お遊
we?
びだからな。
I've got some plastic chips we can use for bets. This is just a quick game. I'm not gonna make you bet for real.
わかったわ。
All right,
じゃ、ディーラー役も俺がやる。
I'll be the dealer then. He stopped fiddling with the deck and quickly dealt out a hand of cards in front of both of us. Watching his smooth and practiced movement gave rise to more questions in my mind.
ずいぶん海外に行ってたみたいだけど、ギャンブル目当てだったの？
I hear you went overseas a lot. Was it also you could gamble?
なわけあるか。単に面白そうだからだ。まあよく言や視野を広げるため。
Oh, hell no. I went because it's fun. I was broadening my horizons, if you want to make it sound
ギャン
good.
ブルはそのおまけだ。その国に行った記念とか儀式的な。
Getting to gamble was the cherry on top. It was a little ritual I'd do every new country I'd visit.
そうなの？
Oh? That wasn't the answer I expected. He saw my surprise and laughed.
よし。じゃあゲームスタートだ。
Let's get this hand started. I never actually gambled, but I had taken a tour of a casino. I think this is how it works. I thought back on the rules of the game, checked my hand, and then placed a few chips in the middle of the table to see how he would react. But
よし。全額かける。
okay, I'm all in.
は？全額？
You're betting everything?
お嬢はそれだけか？
Ah, is that all from you, babe?
当たり前でしょ？
Yes. As we played a few hands, I always made sure to leave myself a few chips just in case of trouble, but Taiga, he always went all in. At first, I thought he didn't take me serious as an opponent, but he never seemed mad when he lost.
ねえ、もっと堅実にやった方が。そんなかけ方で負けたら一瞬で終わりじゃない。
Are you sure you shouldn't be more conservative with your bets? If you go all in and lose, you'll get cleaned. Witnessing and repeating losses was painful. Taiga laughed and
いい
answered.
んだよ。夢を買ってんだから。そもそもギャンブルで稼いだ金なんてあぶく銭じゃねえか。
This is fine. I'm just buying dreams. After all, when you're gambling, all the money is easy come, easy go. According to him, say you bet 100 yen, you win 10k. Then you bet that 10k and lose it all, coming away with a total of all of 0 yen. But if you think about it, all you really lost was 100 yen. The other 9,900 were merely a
で
dream.
も1万円が残ったら自分の財産が増えるじゃない？
But if you kept that 10k, wouldn't you be all the more richer?
ならその1万で10万の夢を買うのが男のロマンだ。そんで10万よりも100万の夢の方が追いかけがいがある。
Why keep it when you can use the money to fund a 100k yen dream or even a million yen dream? That's where the thrill is. Oh, he's cute. Damn. I frowned at him. I didn't like that answer. He just laughed again.
例えば勝てば何でも叶うゲームがあるとしてさ。
Let's say there's a game where if you win, you could be granted any wish you could think of.
で、その掛け金が自分の命だったら、お嬢はかけるか？
But the ante for that game was your life. Would you pony up, babe? How could he not know my answer to that one? I sighed and narrowed my eyes and
か
replied,
けるわけないでしょ？
Of course not. Why would I?
だろうな。けど、俺は多分かける。
Figured you'd say that. Me, though, I'd take that bet.
そんなのもし負けたら
But if you lost,
死んだら死んだで、運が悪かったで納得するぜ。
yep, I'd be dead, but that's sometimes just how the cookie crumbled. I'm okay with it, sir. That was his thought. The way he thought was utterly different than mine. I couldn't help but stare in disbelief. Baffled.
しっかり覚えとけよ。テストに出るぜ。
Why can you take it that gracefully? Oh man, I'm doing good so far.
どうしてそんなに潔いの？
Why can you take that bet so nonchalantly?
潔い？ああ、まあよく言えばそうかもな。
I guess if you wanted to make it sound cool, you could put it that way.
さっきのかけ方を見てもそうだけど、タイガさんは失うことが怖くないの？
Watching how exorbitantly you make bets, I have to wonder if you're afraid of loss at all.
何かを惜しむ気持ちがないから、そんなにあっさり命をかけるなんて言うんじゃないの？
Are you sure you aren't that eager to throw away your life like poker chips because you just don't have enough things to care about? My voice was soft, hesitant, but he gave me a brilliant smile.
俺には何もないからかもな。
Maybe, I don't really have any attachments after all.
親もいなけりゃ守らなきゃならない相手もいない。要するに身軽なんだよ。
No parents, no significant other I need to take care of, nothing. My family, my life, it's just me, myself, and I.
でも友達はいるでしょ。施設の子たちだってタイガさんを慕ってるみたいだったし。
You have friends, and the children at the orphanage care about you a lot.
そりゃ一人で生きてるわけじゃねえし、死んだら泣いてくれるような連中が全くいないわけじゃねえけどさ。
Yeah, it's not like I live an isolated existence, away from civilization. Nobody does. I never said that there aren't a lot of people who'd be sad to see me
けど
go.
多分最後は俺らしいって笑ってくれる。そんな気がするんだよな。
But you know, if I did go out that way, I have a feeling they'd smile and say I exited this world exactly how I wanted to. He didn't have anything. He owed his whole life. He owned his own whole life. His fate was thoroughly his own. He could do whatever he wanted. A part of me was instantly envious of the sheer freedom his transient life afforded him, but that sounded terrifying. The thought of so much freedom was frightening.
やっぱり私にはあなたの考えは理解で
I
きない。
don't understand how you can think like that. I spoke quietly, almost to myself. Taiga shrugged and gave me a wary smile.
お嬢はそれでいいんじゃね？むしろ
That's
そうでな
fine
きゃ
for
ま
you,
ずい。
babe. Hell, it'd probably be a bad thing for you if you did.
将来東条を背負って立つ人間がノリで大博打なんか打ってみろ。恐ろしい数の人間が路頭に迷う。
Can't have the eventual leader of the Tojo family making massive bets on a whim screw up, and you'd be put in a massive number of people's out of jobs. True.
あのじいさんだってヘラヘラしてるように見えて、いろいろと我慢してるみたいだしね。
For as laid back as Gramps seems, he actually holds back a pretty wild side. What?
昔は相当やんちゃしてたって聞いてるぜ。今は自重してるらしいけど。
I hear he used to be a real hellraiser when he was younger. Now he's trying to be more reserved and dignified and stuff. Grandpa, a hellraiser? The thought frightened me.
けどお嬢の場合はもう少し自分の殻破った方がいいかもな。もっと広い世界に目を向けてさ。
You though, babe, you could stand to come out of your shell a little more, cut loose, explore the wider world out there. Listening to Taiga's story, I felt a little closer to understanding what grandfather had told me before. He said that the reason he chose these four as my suitors was because all of them fill a gap I'm missing in my
タイ
own
ガ
life.
さんに会って私にないもの。おじい様
Fill
は
a gap.
それを教えようとして。
Was grandfather hoping to teach me something by choosing you as one of my suitors?
ああ、そもそも俺はそういうのでここにいるわけじゃ。
How many times do I have to tell you I'm not here for that kind of...
監視役よね。わかってる。
Yeah, I know, you're the observer. But that was really all there was to it. Grandfather did tell me to learn about all of them, Taiga included. Not only that, the more I talked to Taiga, the more I realized that my knowledge of the world contained huge gaps. When I read his background report, I thought he was a worthless human being, kneecapped by a gambling addict. Now that I heard his side of the story, he didn't strike me as a worthless addict at all.
なんでギャンブル教なんて。
Why say that you're a gambling addict then? Taiga grimaced and looked away from me.
ああ、お嬢がイメージしてたのとは違うにしても、言われても仕方ねえとこはあるぜ。
It might not be what you expected, but there are some parts that I can't exactly
さ
deny.
っきも言ったけど、海外に出たら記念としてギャンブルは大抵やる。
Like I said earlier, whenever I go abroad, I almost always go gambling in that country, sort of like a personal ritual to commemorate the trip.
毎度さっきみたいに豪快にかけるだろ。だから勝つときはめちゃくちゃ儲かるけど、負け方も派手だ。
And when it comes to betting, like you saw earlier, I go big or I go home. So when I win real big. But when that means when I lose, I get fleeced.
でしょうね。
Uh,
マジすっからかんになったりしてない。所持金使い果たすのもザラだし。
Sometimes I wind up flat broke, flatter than a pancake. I lost every coin in my pocket more than once.
それでもやめねえんだから。ギャンブル狂って言われても仕方ねえよ。
I can't stop though if I just have to do it again. So I think I fit the addict profile,
海
unfortunately.
外旅行の記念なら別にギャンブルじゃなくったっていいでしょ。
How do you gamble to
お土産
commemorate
と
your
か
trip?
記念写真とか。
Why not buy a souvenir or take a picture?
あのロマンにはかなわねえね。
Buying cheap souvenirs doesn't give you the same thrill.
またそれ。
And with the thrills. I rolled my eyes and I asked him something that had been on my
も
mind.
しそれで大金が手に入ったらどんな夢に使うつもり？
If you did win a lot of money, what dream would you spend it on?
そうだな。一生遊んで暮らすとか？
I'd blow it all and live. I'd blow it all and live in a lap of luxury.
嘘。
Liar.
あなたはそういう人じゃない。じゃなきゃおじいさまはそばに置かない。
Ooh, you aren't that kind of person. If
私
you
にもわ
were,
かる。
grandfather would never let you near me. Even I know that much.
ずいぶん買いかぶられてんね。
You're giving me way too much credit. My bashful statement earned me a shrug and a wary grin from Taiga. We really are the complete opposite. The more I learned about him, the more I realized as much. There were a lot of things I could learn from him. If I didn't let myself get caught up in the appearances and took a closer look at him, at who Taiga was as a person, then maybe something inside me might change.
それで結局大金はどんな夢に使うの？
Well, tell me the dream you'd spend your money on for real.
秘密。
That's a secret.
なんでよ。教えてくれてもいいじゃない。
Come on, why not just tell me? He's gonna buy the orphanage and take care of all the children.
お嬢がロマンを理解するようになったらな。
I will once I really get the thrill of gambling. What does that mean?
そんな日は一生来ません。
Not gonna happen.
そうかもな。
Maybe. I guess you'll never know then. I could learn a lot from Taiga, yes, but I was starting to suspect it would take a long time. I heaved a sigh and flicked at the plastic chips, scattering it across the table, and cried for some reason. No reason. Girls' day out! Oh, we're going on a girls' day! This Lexia is real. Also, if your keys are just off by one, everything's spelt wrong, actually. Alright. Lunchtime, Sumigi put her fork down and gave me a brilliant smile.
今日の放課後はお時間ありまして？
Say, Leah, do you have some free time after class this afternoon?
空いてるけど。
I do. Why?
ではぜひ女子会にご一緒しません？有村さんとカフェで約束してますの。
Gonna be lurking playing Mirage Nor Extended Demo right now. That's fair. Jay's currently playing 9 RAP right now. I forgot which route she said she's trying to get on, though. She said she's gonna be up for 5 more hours, but that was like an hour ago. And then Blue said she's gonna be playing the Jinzo Magica demo tomorrow. Trying to get to Cena. Cena's gonna be the one we start with, actually. Oh, Asia, just so you know, since you asked, because you said, do we want to wear red? Here's how we're starting. It's gonna be Cena, Koyo, Kudaha. So we're gonna start in Urban Legends, and then School Ghost, we're starting with Kudaha. So you got 1, 2, 3 routes before you can wear red. So be prepared. I can't wait for Koyo and Seiya. Seiya is gonna be my 5th route. Other realm is going to be the 3rd world I visit. Okay, I'm hyped. Yeah, I'm gonna make a little picture and post it on probably on X and on Discord. But yes. I have a plan. And when will I play them? As we progress, but would you care to join me on a girls' day out? I have a planned to meet Automata at a cafe, a girls' day out. I'd heard of them, but I'd never really I've never participated in it. I've never been out with a girl before. It'd be a chance to talk to Automota too.
ぜひ参加させて。
I'd love
え
to.
え楽しみですわ。
Wonderful. I'm already looking forward to it. Simigi nodded cheerfully and flashed a bright smile, and I completely missed the shadow of a plot that loomed at the edge of that smile. I wish I got a job so I could instantly buy 9 RIP right now. I'm broke. Well, seasonal hiring's happening right now at a lot of major places because they're getting ready for Christmas. You can save up that sweet, sweet money and then use it for future games. I don't know, Spirit's still hiring. There's some that are, but not many are still hiring. After class, Sumigi and I went to Shibuya Cafe with Automota, who was already waiting for us. She had, of course, already completely transformed out of her middle school persona.
お待たせしました。
Future too many gamings. Look, you gotta just try. You put an envelope with like money in it, enough for a single game, and then you just keep going. I hope we haven't made you wait too long.
別に待ってない。
Nah. Automota was her typical lachronic self. Sumigi simply grinned and said nothing. Each of us ordered our drinks and desserts, taking a moment to breathe a sigh of relaxation. I feel overwhelmed by the many titles that have been released, localized, and translated. Again, this stack of games, this is only my Otome games over here, and I have not played half of them. So behind, but look at my new Kirby. Look at not even half of them. I'm having a girls' day out. Watch me go. Butterflies of excitement danced in my stomach, but then Sumigi looked at me with a smile of anticipation.
女子会といえば恋バナが鉄板ですわね。では、あなたからどうぞ。
Now then, gossiping about romance is mandatory activity during a girls' day out. Leah, why don't you start? Huh?
心配はいりません。もろもろの状況などは前もって有村さんも予習済みですから。
Don't worry, I've made sure to get Aramura caught up to the various and sundry pertinent details of your current situations. Who did this? Who translated this?
もろもろ
All the sundry pertinent
イ
details?
スルギさんが監視役だったことですとか、彼と急接近した後、あなたがご機嫌斜めだったことですとか。
First, there's how Mr. Usugi turned out to be an observer. You grew very close to him, and then something happened and you became cross. She's basically told her everything. And she really planned to make me spill more. Is a girl's day out just about getting snagged in this kind of trap? I feel stupid for being excited for it. I bit my lip, feeling awkward. Sumigi noticed and gave me a solemn
こ
look.
れは間違いなく女子会のぶっちゃけトークですわ。ですから、
She's getting mad at her for her first girl's day out. A girl's day out is all about us girls being frank with each other, so it's against the rules to keep secrets at this table, alright?
隠れハグも隠れキッスもなしですわよ。
I remember when my mom gave me $45 and I was like, I will save this for Bustafellows. I thought I have to save it for months, but I think the weekend after I got the money, we went to a grocery shopping and GameStop, and at that moment I saw Bustafellows. It was only $50. I looked at my brother and he paid the rest. Aw, that's so sweet though. And you got my Next Life as a Villainess this year. See? It's a possibility. I actually have a regular who comes in with her brother, and she's pre-ordered 9 RIP thanks to me. So credit me for that one. That means telling us about secrets, hugs, and kisses. It was perfect timing.
ハグとか
Sometimes it works out.
そんなこと
The thing
してるわ
is,
けないでしょ。
like, Atome games are sometimes hard to find. Like, when they first release, they're not too hard to find. But after that, they get, like, surprisingly hard to find. And I'm a sucker for a good deal. Which is why half of my Atome games over here I got during, like, a buy two get one free deal. Or I bought off Macari when I found one on Macari for really cheap. It worked out so much for me so many times. See, maybe you'll get 9 RIP. Maybe maybe like the demons in 9 RIP or the ghost will want you to have 9 RIP so bad. It's a possibility. Hugs? I haven't done anything of the sort. Why would I? Sumegi gleefully pushed, and I desperately veered away. Automata sighed, already tired of the show.
カノ、ずっとこんな調子なわけ。
Kano.
聞いてもないことをベラベラと。
Been like this the whole time, blabbing about stuff I don't know or care about.
それは、その。
Sorry.
別にあんたが悪いわけじゃないけどさ。で、今日は何の話？
It's not like it's your fault. So, what are we talking about today?
有村さんもこう言ってますし。さあ、イスルギさんへのぶっちゃけ話をどうぞ。
There, see, even Automata wants to know. Go on, tell us everything about you and Mr. Isugori. I can't even. My mom usually gives me money for Christmas. Same thing for my dad and grandma. So I'll probably buy 9 RIP for me during Christmas. There you go. There is a will and there is a way. And it's gonna be such a good game. I'm really excited. There was no getting out of this. I heaved a heavy sigh and gave in, talking
タイガさん
slowly.
が監視役だって分かってから、いろいろと助けてもらってるのは本当。
Once I learned Taiga was only an observer, I did go to him for a lot of things. That part is true.
それに、ちょっと観察してみたら、おじい様に頼まれてた仕事もちゃんとしてるし。
I watched him for a little while. He really was doing what grandfather asked him. He kept the other suitors on a leash by maintaining the rules.
私の気持ちを察してくれたりするし、ダメなところはちゃんと叱ってくれて、
He always seems savvy about my feelings.
フォローもしてくれる。
He'll scold me when I'm honestly need to be rebuked, but he's also at my side to support me when I need it. I thought back to our talk in the yard and the sweet taste of the flan.
つまり、
In other words,
あなたはイスルギさんの責任感の強さ、誰にでも平等な心、大人の優しさに魅力を感じているわけですわね。
his strong sense of responsibilities, his fairness with everyone, his maturity and kindness. You're starting to feel a strong attraction to Taiga because of these traits.
違うってば、今のは恋愛とかじゃなくて、その、なんていうか。
Not. I don't mean any of that in a romantic sense. It's more like how do I put it? I just respect him as a
そう
person.
ですの？
Are you sure?
そうなの？
Yeah, I'm sure. As I desperately fended off Sumiki's gleeful attempt to romanticize everything, Automata suddenly spoke
でも
up.
まあ、それは監視役だからって可能性もあると思うけど。
So you can't really discount the possibility he's acting responsible because of his role as an observer.
どういうこと？
What do you mean?
今まで隠れてフォローしてたのが、今度はあんたにもわかるようになった。だから距離が近く感じてるだけかもってこと。
What games do you have physically and digitally on Switch, Asia? I know there's often a lot of digital sales if you're looking for the best bang for your buck. I've read 3 9RP reviews plus Birdie's reviews video too. I'm hyped to see your playthrough. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I refuse to read other people's reviews or watch other reviews until I played it because only afterwards I want to hear, did they have the same thought as me here? Did they see it similar to me here? Because I want to be surprised. I want fresh eyes. Although Blurdy's makes me interested. I want to watch. He's been secretly backing you up when you need it, right? Not only... Now the only difference is you... Oh gosh. Is you know he's doing it, and that makes you feel closer to him.
だいたい、東條がタイガさんに安心して頼れるのも監視役だからでしょ？
I mean, the major reason you feel comfortable going to him because he is not really a suitor, right? Well, she did have a point. For some reason, I couldn't bring myself to agree. Meanwhile, Sumigi ignited a passion.
そうは言っても男性と女性ですのよ。お
It's
互
still a
いに
man
力ずを
and a
持っているのは
woman
明
together.
白。
Correct.
確実にロマンスの扉は開いてますわ。
It's clear they don't despise each other at least, so the door of possible romances is wide open. I'm more interested in physical. I got all 3 Code Realize games. My next life is a villainess, Color, XMLS, PO4, and Love of Pretend. See? And even the ones I own digital, I still want to buy physical. Like, I still want a physical copy of Cupid Parasite and Burashihana. And my next life is villainess, but technically I didn't buy that one, and so I don't count that as a game I own. Still a man and a woman together, and it's clear that they don't despise each other at least, so the door of possibility is
けど
open.
タイガさんはもともと花婿候補じゃないんでしょ。ロマンスを始めてどうすんの。
Like I said, Taiga's not really a suitor. What's the point of getting cuddly with a guy who isn't there for romance?
それはタイガさんでもいいっておじい様が。
Actually, grandfather said he wouldn't mind if I chose Taiga.
花婿にしたいわけ。
You want him to be a suitor?
そうじゃないけど
I don't mind getting some digital looking at even if Tempest. Yeah, well, there's not a physical US release of that one, so that's fair. Unless Limited Run Games did it, but I don't think has Limited Run done an Otome game before? Like, what do they even have right now? Where am I? This isn't even in Limited Run. What do they have right now? Yakuza. Wait. Rain World. Snuffkins? That looks adorable. Wait, I know that guy. Oh my god. Yeah, lots of Yakuza, Rain World, Snuffkin, Outbreak. Don't know what that one is. I'm still debating getting digital versions of Hana Awais or the physicals. Yeah, and I know the physicals you can buy. They're not US releases, but you can still buy them. I understand. I don't know. Hana Awais will be on Steam as well. I just wish Hana Awais was on one disc. Hear me out. I just want one. I don't want to buy 5 copies to get the good endings. It's a lot of work. I didn't say that.
どっちだよ。
Which is it? Make up your mind. I don't know how I feel, okay? I had to admit that Taiga's presence in my life was notably growing larger, but
こうは私のことなんか恋愛対象に見てないわよ。
he doesn't view me in a romantic light at all. I mumbled my own rebuttal as I dropped my
向
eyes.
こうは
He
ね。
doesn't, huh?
つまり
But you,
あなたは
Leah,
Kano
Kano,
無責任に煽るのはやめときなって。本人がそう言うんだからきっとそうなんでしょ。今は。
can't wait to hear what you think about it. How far have you gotten in Hana Awais, Jay? Which one did you buy? You bought 3 of them, didn't you? Still working on the 3rd game. Quit pushing the point, would ya? If she says she isn't attracted to them, then she isn't. Drop it.
そうですわね。
I suppose if you say so. Sumigi pouted at Automura. Interruption. Reluctantly, she nodded
とりあ
inside.
えずよくわかりましたわ。今はそういうことにしておきましょう。
Alright, I see what you're saying. Well, we'll leave it at that for now.
けれど、もし何かあったらいつでも相談してくださいましね。
But if there's
私たちは
any
ついてま
new
すから。
developments, you can come ask my advice at any time you like. Both of us are here for you, no matter what.
勝手に私を頭数に入れないで。
Could you not volunteer me for this? Thanks.
はいはい、ツンデレオツですわ。
Yeah, yeah, whatever you say, Miss Sundere.
あんたね。
Stop calling me that. The two of them began to bicker. I let it go in one ear and out the other as I took a sip of tea, which was now about as warm as a slush puddle. How many slush puddles have you drinking from? What do you mean? New developments, right? Nothing like that will ever happen. Taiga and I had grown much closer together, that I knew. It felt like he was much more obviously kind to me now, too. I could tell that he was trying to do the right things for me. I like Automura a lot more than Sumigi. I do too. I think Sumigi's a little too over the top at times. Isn't it any wonder I almost got the wrong idea?
つまり無謀
For a moment right then, I thought that he might actually see me in a romantic light. As a woman, as a potential marriage candidate, that realization shook me. Afterwards, it didn't take me long to realize that his attitude towards me hadn't changed a bit. That meant the only one who'd felt anything was me. That completely changed my mind. I realized that he only ever intended to warn me as a general courtesy. It wasn't because we were alone, it was because that was a bad situation any woman can find herself in with any man, and that was the only reason he did that. I haven't been back in his room since. I just can't bring myself to go. He said he didn't mind if I visited, but now I was far too aware of the implications to do it. Though if I did, I'm sure he would just greet me with his usual unconcerned smile.
あの
Leah? I blinked and looked. Did she say any of that out loud? Was there parentheses around any of that? No, none of that was out loud. I blinked and looked up. Apparently, Sumigi and Automata must have finished their quarrel because both of them were looking at me.
なんでもないわよ。なんでもないの。ただ
It's nothing, really. I'm fine. It's just.
本当。男の人って
I really don't understand, Min. Sumigi and Automata said nothing. They simply looked at each other and exchanged an ambiguous smile. It's also really weird for her to have a friend that is gonna get into an arranged marriage, and that's the friend we're going to for advice when she's accepted her own arranged marriage. And I just think that's kind of strange. Like, it's one thing to be in one. I can smell, I got this. Late afternoon on a lovely day, I sat out on the patio enjoying a nice cup of tea. Next to my tea saucer was a plate of cake and cookies. And across the table sat...
お嬢、聞いてくれ。
Babe, listen.
え
Huh?
俺の立場で言えることじゃねえと思ってずっと耐えてきたけど、やっぱ俺もう限界なんだ。
I forced myself to stop playing Mirage nor demo only because I don't want to finish it, so I'm going to play a little bit of Winter Night demo. Why don't you want to finish it? Are you trying to savor it? I know it ain't really my place to say this, so I tried not to, but I can't hold it any longer.
俺、
See, I think
お嬢のこと
yes. It's fair. It's fair. Looking embarrassed, Taiga ran his hands through his hair. His cheeks started to turn pink. Oh my god, is he going to? My heart lurched and my mouth opened on its own accord.
実は
Actually,
私も
I do too. Taiga jumped out of his chair to kneel at my side.
俺たち同じ気持ちだって思っても
Then,
いいの
is it okay for me to believe that our feelings are mutual? He leaned forward and his lips drew towards mine. Was he going to... Oh my gosh. Ah!
夢
A dream? I must have said that out loud because Kasuga turned and gave me a curious glance.
どうかなさいましたか？
Is something the matter, miss?
あ、いや
No. No. Cliffhanger? I don't know how long, but I don't want to get to the point like, oh my god, something's about to happen, and then out of nowhere it's over. That's also why I don't like them. Here's the thing, right? We've played a few demos, and like, but then I just want to play the game. Like Diffraction, I want to play Diffraction. I want to play it. It's so pretty. I want to play Touch Starved. I want to be touched or starved. I'm fine with either one, but I just wanna. I also want the pins that were for the stupid thing that I couldn't do because I found out about it afterwards. Diffraction is a great demo. I loved it. It was so pretty. Sadness. No.
お疲れのようですね。帰宅したら少し休まれては。
You seem particularly tired today, miss. Perhaps you ought to consider resting once we get home.
そうね
Yes,
そうするわ
I think I might just do that. She's losing her mind. She's embarrassed. Okay, she had like, I don't know if we'd call it. Oh, what do you call it when it's not actually that far? You know, A puppy love dream? That doesn't sound right. A crush dream? A confession dream? Kasuga was still obviously curious, but he said nothing and turned back. Once I was sure he was facing front, I let out my breath I'd been holding as if he couldn't hear anymore. What a strangely vivid dream. I could almost feel the warmth of Taiga's breath pass across my lips. What's up with these weird dreams? I knew that Taiga would never actually say anything like that to me. It never even crossed his mind because he didn't see me in that light. I have to pull myself together. Gotta snap out of it. By the time the car pulled up in front of the house, all the heat had drained from my cheeks. I got out and handed my bags to Kasuga as I always did and walked forward to open the front door. There's a certain demo called Data Breach. It's one of my favorite demos last year. The dev's not going to continue it, so no full game, but the dev's going to try and write tech stories. But see, that hurt. Oh my god, Blue, why? Blue? Did I play Data Breach? That sounds familiar. Didn't I do that one? Or did I download it? Is it just downloaded? I'll know really fast. I won't know really fast. My computer doesn't want to load anything. No, I didn't. Asia knows for sure. Data Breach. You know what? It's not even in my downloads right now. I have a tavern. No, I do have it right here. Data Breach. You're right. I didn't play it. I deleted. I was still disappointed. I can still play it. It's still installed. I have Tavern at Night, Data Breach, Off Script, Promise You'll Live, Shared Beauty, The Well Island, Under Thorns, all installed on my computer as we speak. That's the only way I know I have it. I haven't played it because I uninstall them after I play it, so I know I have played it. I'm so sorry. It makes me sad when that happens, right? And that makes it hard too, because I want the whole story. I'm disappointed. Oh, you're disappointed. I'm so sorry. I thought you were disappointed I hadn't played it. I thought I broke your heart. My apologies. That's also sad. But that's also why part of me does not like demos. I love stories. I want the rest of it. Like, I need more. Give me more. Give me story. More story, please. I'm home. Also, what was the other one we did I liked? It was the one where she's like going home and she got lost and ended up in a weird town, so she's just gonna stay there. I can't remember the name of it. I know they had an update too. Like, it was part of the Atome Jam 2023. I hate people creating something but they won't continue it. I hate that shit. And I understand. I used to write fan fiction many moons ago, and like I used to have a hard time continuing my stories, but like I don't know. I still want to finish. I want more. Please tell me more stories. I don't join many Kickstarters for that reason. Too many stories of people running with money. Yeah, I've seen those stories. Actually, my sister did I think it was a Kickstarter not too long ago, and it was for D&D stuff, and then afterwards there was no update ever posted. None. No just they did it when it ended. There was hiccups, never an update. And so they're like, I guess that's just done. And the problem with Kickstarter is it's not a guarantee. You're not actually guaranteed anything from a Kickstart, which is a little disappointing. Like if you give, I don't know. Don't join game jams if you don't plan on doing the full thing. I hate getting my hopes up. That's fair. I want a good story. And you know what? There's some good ones out there. They just need to be completed so I can play them. Naruto would dash over to see me like a thrilled puppy the moment I opened the door, but he didn't today. I didn't see any sign of Ichiya either. But I did hear sounds coming from the living room, their voices talking animatedly about something. Curiosity took me, and I cautiously and soundlessly made my way towards the living room. What are they so excited about? I opened the living room door at a tiny crack so I could hear more clearly.
お嬢さんの魅力はやっぱりクールで大人びているところかな。内面の凛々しさが外見にも現れているよ。
I'd say the most attractive thing about Leah is her level-headed maturity. She carries herself with regal dignity and reflects in her poise and her appearance.
わかります。あのキリッとした感じ、たまらないですよね。
I totally get
なん
that.
か睨まれるとドキドキするし。
She's definitely got that queenie attitude that I really dig. And when she glares at me, oh, my heart starts racing. Doki doki.
変態っぽいよ、ナユタ。でも、僕も小鳥ちゃんの目元、すごく好き。
There were some short visual novels, but some of them is short for a reason, like the game jam you have. Very short visual novels, it's part of the rules. The short visual novels are so good. Yeah, and that's fine. It can be a short story. Stories don't have to be long to be good. Like, you can get a point across in a pretty short amount of time. And so I would just say, instead of creating a demo, you can complete a full story with the intention of, like, expanding upon it. Because then at least it's not as disappointing when it ends suddenly. You sound like a perfect Narita, though I do agree that Leah has lovely eyes. I'm quite taken by them. Don't they have anything better to talk about? I rolled my eyes and turned to leave, but a little corner of my mind told me to hang around. For some odd reason, it felt like they were talking about someone else, not actually me. Many people did see me as reserved, but intelligent person with a level head. I put in a lot of effort to project that appearance around others. But that's just how I acted as the Tojo family heir. I didn't want to shame the family name after all, but the facade I put on for the Tojo family heir is if someone asked if that was the real me.
お嬢はそんな大人じゃねえぞ。
She isn't really that mature, guys.
え？
Taiga.
思い通りにいかねえとすぐむくれるし、嬉しい時はすぐ顔に出るしな。
I don't know why I just started craving deviled eggs. What just happened? She pouts when things don't go her way, and she wears her happy emotions all over her face.
クールぶってるとこも含めて、あいつはまだまだ年相応のガキだ。
Like any kid, she just acts mature. Under it all, she's still as bratty as any other regret. Excuse me? A brat? I may have grumbled to myself, but I couldn't deny that I was a teeny bit happy to hear that. So that's how Taiga sees me. That was how I appeared to him.
なんだかんだで危なっかしくてな。だから目が離せねえんだけど。
It's like she's just built to get into all kind of trouble. I can't turn my back on that behavior, you know? I swallowed hard. If I kept listening, I might die of embarrassment, but I was admittedly curious, very curious, but listening to Taiga was going to make me shrivel. But, while I was going back and forth in my mind, Shion's gentle voice drifted from the room.
タイガは小鳥ちゃんのことよく見てるよね。
You always pay special attention to Leah, Taiga. It's as if you're here with the intention of marrying her.
本当ですよね。俺の知らないお嬢さんいっぱい知っててすごいと思います。
You do. You know all kinds of things about her I didn't have the first clue about. I think that's super impressive.
タイガのアプローチはからかうという特殊な方法だからね。
Well, he does have
見
a
える一
unique
面も
way.
俺とは違うというか。
He does have a unique way of courting her. He goes for the torment the one you love angle. Does that mean he sees different sides of her than I do?
そういうのかっこ悪いよ、一夜。
Ichiya, that's simply a poor excuse.
それにしても、やっぱりタイガも彼女に本気なんだ。
That aside, you're serious
But
about her.
そこまでちゃんと見てるんだもんね。
Despite claims to the contrary, aren't you, Taiga? You observe her oh so very closely. Ooh.
はああ、いや、それは。
Not really.
僕にはそう見えるけど、違うの？
Looks that way to me. Be honest, serious.
いや、だからさっきも言ったろ。なんか危なっかしいんだって。
Like I said before, she just always seems to be teetering on the edge of trouble.
そこが可愛いって話だよね。
Yeah, you find that cute.
だから俺は別に。
Cute? Hold on, I never said that.
別に否定する必要ないじゃない。
Why bother to
僕
deny
たちみ
it?
んな小鳥ちゃんのことそういう目で見てるのは分かってるのに。
We all know how you really feel about Leah. Taiga laughed as he answered, completely unaware that I was listening intently just beyond the door.
どうだろうな。お前らの必死さに比べたらまだまだな気もするけどな。
Sure about that? Compared to how wild the three of you get, I'd say my actions are pretty tame.
でもタイガは小鳥ちゃんのことをずいぶん可愛がってるよね。
Oh, I noticed that you go well out of your way to do her kindness. You must really be fond of her.
そりゃ一緒に暮らしてんだし。
Oh, we've lived together.
俺を本気で燃えさせるには、お
course
嬢はちょっと足りねえだろう。
Of course, I'm gonna be nice, do nice stuff for her, but she doesn't have the goods that really turn me on.
足りないって何がですか？
What's she missing then?
具体的に言うと、胸とかな。
Big old biddies for a start. It's a not an agreement. Obviously, oblivious to me standing behind the living room door and ringing the doorknob.
ああ、そういえばタイガさん、巨乳好きでしたもんね。
I'm his type, guys. I didn't even know. Yeah, that's right. You did say you like big-chested women, Bez.
まあね。
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ふん。それってつまり胸があれば燃えるってこと？
So you're saying if her bust grows larger, you'll find her attractive?
え？
Huh?
今は胸がないから本気じゃないの？
Is her small chest the only reason you don't?
あ、いや、それは。
Wait a sec. I never said,
タイガの本音も教えてくれないとフェアじゃないよね。
Taiga, it isn't fair for you to hold back on your true feelings here.
だから。
I was so taken aback that I had to pause the game when I got to this part. He's been like this the whole time though. Like every single round he has mentioned boobies at some point. Like the model, he's all like, that model has big hands. Can you get me her number? Like, and then the person on the television, like I know, it's just
ん？
やっぱ胸がねえと燃えねえよ。
I just don't find flat-chested chicks attractive at all. Is that okay with you? The doorknob started to creak in my fist as it absorbed the brunt of my anger. What is that man's problem?
何か変な音が。小鳥ちゃん。
What was that noise? Leah!
姉ちゃんはやっぱり胸があった方がいいだろう。ほら、夢があるっつうか。
Feels like the cat's glaring at him too, man. I mean, when you think of hot chicks, they got real big Humpty Dumps, right? Getting with a chick like that is a guaranteed ticket to a good time. A good time. Oh, so that's what this is about. It's all about having a good time with you, isn't it?
それなりにあった方がやっぱ見栄えもいいし。
I can't. There's gotta be something there to, fill out the sweater. Well, it looks better. Excuse me for lacking in such a vital department.
お嬢な俺。なんつうか。
Babe's assets are, well...
タイガ、そろそろ。
Taiga, you may want to stop.
ささやかだし。
They're, a work in progress.
まあ、何年かしたらお嬢もそれなりに育つかも。って、そりゃねえか。はっはははは。
Yeah, give her some years and that particular piece of real estate might develop more, but okay, who am I kidding? What you see is what you get. This isn't funny.
タイガ、僕知らないからね。
Taiga, I washed my hands of this conversation.
シオンさん、さっきからどこ見てるんですか？
Cheon, what have you been staring at this whole time?
ドアの方に何か。
Is there a spider by the door?
なあ、一夜もそう思うだろ。
Right, Ichia, you're on the same page, huh?
俺かい？俺はそのいや。
Me, I wouldn't
かな。
say that. Trying to pander to me only makes it worse.
おい、なゆたは？なゆたも胸のでかい姉ちゃん好きだよな。
What's with you, Narita? You like chicks with big tatas, don't you? Don't you?
俺はその胸大きいと登ったり走ったりするの大変そうだなって思います。
I think having a big chest would make stuff like running and climbing really difficult. It's not aerodynamic. As someone that can talk for this. Also, giant cups, big cups are hard when you have this chat. This is where my, like, this is face level, right? It stops here. So this turns into an issue. Big cups, lean forward. Big cups, not great.
だから俺、お嬢さんはすごく運動しにくそうだなって思いますけど。
A heavy responsibility. Yes, it's a lot of work. I think Leo would have a really super duper hard time doing lots. Would have really super duper hard time doing lots of
あ
exercise.
れは絶対運動向きだろう。
Nah, there's one athletic figure.
タイガさん。
Taiga.
けどまあ、あのお嬢がいきなり胸だけ成長してもビビるし、
That's
別
so
に今のままでも悪くは。
Still though, if she suddenly came home with a D cups or something, that'd be kind of freaky. So I'd say she isn't too bad the way she is.
タイガさん。後ろ。
Taiga, behind you.
あ？
Hmm?
お嬢。
Thank God, my eyes watering. Oh God. Taiga, stop. First it was just my left eye, now it's both of them. Please. Doesn't like cameras at night. Okay. Babe. The blood slowly drained from Taiga's face as he was as pale as milk. But I didn't care. To hell with him. I stalked closer to him, my incandescent rage feeling each hard, deliberate step.
お嬢。その。
Did you
今の聞いてた。
hear that? I didn't say anything. I simply nodded once.
怒ってるよな。
You're mad at me, aren't you?
大丈夫。忘れないから。
Oh man. Oh no. Oh, it's a defense mechanism. I tried. My first wrong answer.
別に
Why would I be? My voice was so cold, it touched absolute zero. I held all my boiling rage on a tight leash and gazed at Taiga with a completely neutral expression.
価値観は人それぞれだと思うけど
Had me rolling on the floor. Oh, God. Everyone values things in their own
女
way.
性をそんな目でしか見られないあなたは寂しい人ね
But you're truly a pitiable person if you measure one by their chest size. Now Taiga's face went completely white. His jaw worked, but it took a moment for the words to stumble out.
いや、だからこれはその訳があって。
Hold on. There's a reason for this, I swear.
タイが謝った方がいいよ。
Taiga, I suggest you apologize.
俺もそう思います。
I think that's the smartest
Taiga.
thing.
女性の価値は胸だけで決まるわけじゃないんだよ。それを知った方がいい。
Taiga, a woman's true value isn't something you decide simply by looking at her bust. That's a hard lesson you're about to learn.
俺だってそこまで言ってねえ。
That's not the only thing I value. I was so angry. All right, let's go
や
back
り
to the
直
right
しが
answer.
効くのは
Just
ゲームだ
before.
けですよ。
It's fine. It's fine. Thank you. That was enlightening.
大変参考になりました
I tried to force myself to smile. My cheeks began to jump around. I thought I was quite skilled at faking a smile, but it seems like I still need practice. I suppose I was so angry that my brain was having a hard time focusing on the problem at hand. I stared silently at Taiga, my cheeks twitching long enough for him to give me a concerned look.
お嬢、そんなに怒んな。男同士のバカ話だ。
Come on, babe. Don't be mad. It was just us guys talking about dumb crap. Don't take it so serious. Dumb crap. The size of my bust was dumb. And he had the gall to give me attitude. He's making me out to be a sulking child. I felt something finally crack inside my mind. All the rage came bubbling up and out at once.
悪かったわね貧乳で
I am very, very sorry that my flat chest offends you.
いや、貧乳とまでは。そういや、胸は揉むとでかくなるって。
No one ever said that, though. Interesting factoid. I hear they can grow if you massage them.
バカ変態セクハ
You insensitive jackass, you single-minded pervert.
いや、お嬢、最後まで聞けって。この話にはオチがあってな。お嬢の魅力は胸以外に。
Hold on, babe, hear me out. There was a point to that conversation. I was gonna say your chest isn't your best asset.
適当なこと言わないで
Shut up, don't try to worm out of this. I was so angry my shoulders were heaving. The other three leaned close to Taiga and whispered in his ear.
怒ってますよ。
Leah looks kinda angry.
彼女の心に傷をつけた謝罪を早く。
Hurry up and apologize for wounding her poor
とり
heart.
あえず何か言ったら胸以外のこと。
I suggest you say something at least. Maybe talk about something other than her bust. I can hear every word. Taiga's eyebrows started to twitch as he looked between the other three and said,
あ、いや、な、俺はその、
Yeah.
だから、
Listen, I think
お前の足はいけてると思ってる。
your legs are kinda hot.
バカタイ
Jerk! Something blew up inside me, and before I knew what I was doing, I dashed out of the living room. And I was gone. I ran up the stairs and bolted into my rooms. Kasuga saw me and, unaware of the circus downstairs, smiled.
ああ、今ちょうどお伝えすることが。
Ah, there you are, Miss Leah. I have something to tell you.
後にして
Later.
お嬢様。
Miss Leah shoved him out of my room. I escaped into my bedroom and flung myself onto my bed, still dressed in my school
お嬢
uniform.
様。
Miss Leah,
放っておいて
leave me alone. Kasuga tried to speak from behind the door, but I snapped at him and sent him away. I buried my face in my pillow and bit my lip so hard I probably left a mark. Heat pricked at the corners of my eyes, but I told myself it was my imagination. It's not like Taiga's utter lack of tact is anything new. And he teased me about my bust size before, so why am I this upset about it this time? It was never a fun thing to hear. But that wasn't all. This time the remark felt like a weight that pressed on my lungs with a painful jabbing weight. I had no idea what the pain was.
タ
But
イガさん胸の大きな人が好きなんだ
Taiga only likes big-chested girls. Someone like me, who doesn't have much of a chest. The moment that thought crossed my mind, pain jabbed me again. Like someone was stabbing me with a cold blade, I bit my lip harder. That jerk, big, fat, lying jerk. He said he thought I was cute. Liar. Deviant. I'm never gonna speak to him again. I sent an anger-fueled text to Sumigi. He really was the worst. Was. BB stands for variable boobas. They do variable, aren't they? They are much variable. A few minutes later, my phone buzzed. At the same time, I heard a knock at my door. Done. I have, let's see, how many? Most of them are by blue. This is not a surprise. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different variations of variable barricade now. The phone was probably a response from Sumigi. The knock could only be Kasuga. I hesitated, wondering to which I should respond, then the knock came again. I told him to leave me alone. With little choice, I heaved my tired body off my bed. I took a breath and tidied my hair before opening the door. Okay, I'm fine. I opened the door to find no surprise. Kasuga on the other side, his expression was awkward.
お嬢様。お疲れのところ申し訳ありません。
Miss Leah, I humbly apologize for interrupting your rest, but...
何
But what?
実は鎌倉の本家に急いで戻るよう先ほど連絡がありまして。
I received word from the main estates in Kamakura that you would need to return home right away.
今から
ええ
Now?
なんでも急なお客様だそうで、東条家令嬢としてお嬢様も会食に出席するように。
Unfortunately so, it seems an unexpected guest has arrived. There will be a formal dinner and you are expected to attend as the Tojo family heir.
帰りも遅くなる予定なので、そのまま本家に泊まることになるかと思いますが。
The evening will run long. It's probably wise to assume you will end up spending the night at the estate.
分かった行く制服のままでいいんでしょ
I see. I'll go then. I assume attending in my school uniform is acceptable. Of course. Kasuga blinked at how readily I accepted the sudden trip to Kamakura. I wasn't surprised. Normally I would have complained. But I'd far rather be there than in the same house as Taiga right now. I quickly touched up my appearance and hurriedly made my way down through the foyer.
春日、泊まる用意はいいのよね。
Kasuga, I assume you have what I need for my stay.
ええ。すべてご用意できておりますので。
Of course, I've put together everything you might need.
小鳥ちゃん、どこかへお出かけ？
Are you off somewhere? I turned around. Apparently, the others had heard me bustling about. 3 pairs of eyes peered out of the living room at me.
お嬢様はこれから。
Miss Lee is off too.
実家に帰らせていただきます。
I am going home. Even I was surprised that I cut off Kasuga off like that, but I managed to maintain my composure. Still, this is perfect. I could see Taiga, his face still ghostly pale out of the corner of my eye. Maybe this will make him think about what he said. I grunted in disdain and turned my back on them all. I had stayed at the Kamakura estate for a time and let them think about how much they'd upset me with their discussion. Without another word, I followed Kasuga and left the vacation home behind me. She's like, although she could have changed. Making a clean breast of things. All right. Somebody had fun there. Hi. The next morning, for the first time in a while, I spent the night at the main estate. I took breakfast in my rooms. I dazedly ate whatever food Kasuga put in front of me, my mind elsewhere. I'd handled the formal dinner last night perfectly despite being wound tight with anger. But the moment I returned to my room, Taiga's face and voice popped into my mind and wouldn't leave. My mood slowly grew darker and darker as I lay in bed. I tossed and turned until dawn peeked in through my window. I barely got any sleep. I sighed as I listlessly shoveled breakfast into my mouth.
お加減でも。
Are you feeling unwell, miss? I knew Kasuga was concerned for me, but all I could do was shake my head. I have to get ready to go to school. Then after that, I have to go back to... But I didn't want to go back there. I didn't want to see Taiga. At least not until I could collect myself. My mind was so full of thoughts that the food in my mouth tasted like so much wet paper. What? And it's Sumako's cooking too. Girl's sick and she doesn't even know it. My eyes dropped and I put my chopsticks down. Right then I heard a voice from the doorway. Leah, I'm coming in.
なんじゃ疲れた顔をして。あれくらいの会食、今までは軽くこなしてい
What's
た
with
じゃ
that exhausted look? You usually never have any issues handling formal dinners like last night. Grandfather didn't wait for my reply. He simply barged his way into my life as usual. I glared.
別に疲れてません。
I'm not tired.
では、その目の下のクマは何じゃ
The bags under your eyes say otherwise. I couldn't refute that, so I simply frowned and looked away. Kasuga. Grandfather simply said his name, but that was enough for Kasuga to understand. He bowed.
私は車の用意を。
I'll see to preparing the car. My brow furrowed as I watched Kasuga leave the room. The vulture is the last person I want to deal with. He must have caught on to my mood because he let out a displeased snort.
で、どうじゃ花婿候補たちとはうまくいっとるか
Well, how's it going between you and your suitors? Make any progress?
別に
Not really.
大河で時間稼ぎをしているとはいえあやつらの中から花婿を決めなければいけないということは変わっておらん
Taiga is only buying you time. You still need to choose a man to be your real fiance. I stared at my hands, which fiddled in my lap, feeling helpless. I hesitantly spoke to him.
花婿選びは絶対で
Is
す
it really required for me to choose? He thought for a moment, then replied. His voice was calm,
少
even.
なくとも 現状維持はせねばならん。見合い相手と分家の目もあるうちはな。年
We
内
have
は
to keep
監視も
things.
厳しいじゃろ。
We have to keep things as they are at the very least. The Branch family and that pushy suitor are watching like hawks, at least for now.
なに、心配せんでも、タイガが手助けしてくれる。
Don't fret, Taiga's there to help you. That was the last thing I wanted to hear. I felt my heart grow even heavier. I smothered that pain and took a deep breath before I
この
spoke.
人頼れない。
I do not find him reliable.
タイガと何かあったか？
Did something happen between you two? I couldn't answer grandfather right away. What was it that was so painful? What was that? What was it that had hurt me? I wasn't even sure myself. I nibbled on my lip in confusion, hesitating before I spoke, and I fixed something that started to fall.
タイガさんのこと少し見直してたの。おじい様が彼を認める気持ちも
I did revise my opinion on
あるよ
him
うな気
somewhat.
がしてました。
I think I almost started to see why you respected him so much.
でもやっぱり彼は監視役だもの。私の
But in the
味方じゃない
end, he's just an observer. That's all. He isn't there to help me. Tears pricked at the corner of my eyes. I grit my teeth and forced them
な
back.
んじゃ、喧嘩か。
So you two had a fight? Is that all?
喧嘩なんか
It wasn't a fight.
ま、お前とタイガじゃ。喧嘩にもならんじゃろうな。
True, it wouldn't count as a fight, would it? Not between you and him.
それはつまり私が子供って意味ですか？胸がないからって子供扱いですか？
Don't know if that's the argument you should be having with your grandpapa. Can I assume you're calling me a child then? Is it maybe treated as one simply because I'm flat-chested?
胸？
What about your chest?
でもありません。
Nothing. Grandfather looked at me curiously. I quickly looked
とに
away.
かく大丈夫ですから。
Anyways, I'm fine.
自分で何とかしますから。
I can handle things myself.
お前はそういうとこがいかんな。
And thus surfaces one of your bad habits.
あ
Excuse me? I stared at him baffled. He smirked back at
タ
me.
イガに何を言われたかは知らんが、言葉の表面だけをなぞっていては相手の本質は見えてこんぞ。
I don't know what Taiga said, but if you don't scratch a bit more deeply at the words people use around you, you'll never learn about their true character.
あやつと一緒にいて、それを感じたのではないのか。
Having spent all this time around him already, I would hope you've started to see that.
それは
Well, honestly, I had. Before I learned his role as an observer, I convinced myself that Taiga was nothing more than a loudmouth gambling addict who was utterly devoid of whatever. Couth? But he wasn't. Not really. Still, I don't think there's much to read into when he says he only likes women with big busts. And he cannot lie. Just remember, his words made my blood boil. I reined in my anger and kept my expression calm, but a little growl slipped past me when I spoke up
今
again.
回はそういう問
That
題じゃない
is
の。
not the issue.
そうかの
Are you sure?
そうなんです。
Very.
ま、意地を張って大事なことを見逃すことだけはせんようにな。
Just make sure you ease off on being bullheaded once in a while, or else you'll miss what's important. I don't need you to tell me that. Thoroughly fed up, I got back on my feet as I walked away. I heard grandfather say,
ここに長居はするなよ。
"Don't think about sulking around here for too long." And with that, the vile old villain shattered my tentative plans to run away with from my problems. The Tea Party from Hell? Whoa, what names? Babe's still not back yet. Is she gonna be back soon? I kinda hope she is. That said, I doubt that she wanted to even look at me right now. Yeah, it was par for the course for me to shoot off my mouth, but even I knew I'd gone overboard. She's looked about ready to cry. Well...
Baka Taiga!
I'm so laughing that you're so like, stupid Taiga. Oh god. I admittedly felt a stab in my chest when she shouted.
こういうとこダメだよな。
I really need to do something about this, don't I?
タイガさんタイガさん
Taiga! Taiga! Why am I having so much trouble pulling this off?
タイガさんってばスマホ震えてますよ
Taiga! Earth the Taiga! Your phone is buzzing! I snapped back to reality, and sure enough, Naruto was being observant for a change. My phone was buzzing. Who's texting me? I doubt it was her. I listily flicked my phone open and looked. You're kidding me. It wasn't just any text. It was Satan's own invite to a tea party from hell.
勘弁してくれよ。
Cut me a break.
こちらですわ、イスルギさん。
Oh, is she Satan? Sumugi's Satan. Ah, okay. Over here, Mr. Isurugi. I just walked in the door of the designated cafe. When Sumugi spotted me, she waved me over with a smile. Sitting next to her, looking like she'd rather be anywhere else, was Noah.
わざわざ申し訳ありません。ちょっとお話がありまして。
Terribly sorry to call you out here like this, but there's something we simply must discuss with you. I'd barely plucked my butt into the seat before she began talking. She was all smiles and sunshine. It was like she had been born solely for this meeting with me right now in this cafe. That terrified me. She either didn't realize how I felt or she simply chose to ignore my discomfort as she chattered on.
彼女からイスルギさんといざこざがあったと聞きましたわ。
I hear there was a teensy weensy spot of friction between you and Leah earlier.
でもいくら聞いても肝心な理由だけは教えてくださらなくて。それでイスルギさんをお呼び立てした次第です。
But no matter how much I probed, she wouldn't tell me what happened. So I realized you might be kind enough to share a little insight.
私はそっとしとけって言ったのに。
I told her not to bother, but she clearly didn't listen.
でもあんなに元気のない彼女を私見ていられませんわ。
How can you expect me to simply stand by and watch when our poor dear is so obviously depressed?
以前は口を開けばタイガさんとことあるごとにお話をしてましたのに。今は名前を聞くだけで苦しげで。
Before, she was all Taiga this and Taiga that whenever she opened her mouth, but now even the mere mention of your name seems to cause her agony. Taiga this and Taiga that, huh? So she talks about me that much. I felt my lips start to lift into a smirk. I quickly forced them back into a more neutral expression. Meanwhile, Sumugi put her hand on her cheek with melodramatic flair.
それにため息も多いんですの。例えば体育の着替えの時間。
I assume.
悲しそうにそっと胸を押さえて。
And she's been sighing so much lately too. Why, when we were changing after our last gym class, she sighed and touched her bust since such a mournful expression.
またある時には
Yeah,
肩
I
こり
feel
が
that.
ひどい
Like,
と
don't.
嘆く語学友を羨ましげに眺めていたり。
Then there was that time when she was stared jealously at a classmate who was complaining of back pain.
ああ、あの胸の大きい子ね。
Oh yeah, that one girl with the huge boobs, right?
教室では遠い目をして何かを揉む仕草を繰り返し、カフェテリアではメロンを見て涙ぐみ、それからあれやこれやそれや。
This is so stupid. She had stared into the middle distance, working her hands like she was massaging something. She nearly burst into tears when she saw the melons in the cafeteria.
わかった。話せばいいんだろ、話せば。
Okay, I get it. You want me to talk? I'll talk. Jeez.
で、お嬢は切れた。
And that's when she got pissed at me. By the time I finished the story, both girls were staring at me with open disgust.
最低だね。
Sleaze bucket.
最低ですわ。
That was disgusting. Yeah, I know. I didn't bother to try and defend myself. Sumiki made an annoyed sound.
私たち成長期の乙女にはナイーブな問題が山積みですのよ。
Young ladies our
胸の大
age
小を話題にするなんて問題外。
have many problems that may seem trivial to others, but which are important to us. Even mentioning bust size is very ill-advised.
それをまさか同居している男性が口に出して指摘するなんて。モラルという言葉をご存知ですの？
Moreover, specifically making her bust size a topic of discussion with all the other men in the house, have you any common decency?
反省してる。
Look, I regret it, okay?
ま、東條は特に外見とかイメージとかそういうの気にするし。けど、東條以外にも言わない方がいいよ。
Though, yeah, Tojo seems way too sensitive about her appearance and image and stuff. Not like that's an excuse to gab about it with other randos. Probably not, no.
しかも憎からず思っている相手から遠回しの戦力外通告。ショックを受けるはずですわ。
Not only that, for someone who she's fond of to tell her in a roundabout way that she's not even on the list of possible candidates, it would be a terrible shock.
だよな。憎からず思って。
Yeah, I know. For someone you like to...
は？
What? I did a double take. Sumiki kept the cheery, implastable smile plastered on her face. She's not serious, is she? She kept her eyes on me as I teetered on the brink of confusion. Wait a minute. She wants to measure my reaction. That's what this is about. She's as observant as I am. First Gramps, now Babe? I wonder if people with Tojo blood just happen to be genetically drawn to us conniving types. I let my gaze wander away from Sumigi as I sneaked a quick breath to collect myself.
俺が悪かったのは分かってる。だからお嬢にもちゃんと謝る。
Look, I get that it's my fault. I'll apologize to her, I swear.
それがよろしいかと。
That seems wise, yes. Easier said than done. Now to figure out how.
で、実際のところ、タイガさんはどう思ってんの？
Okay, now
東
fess
條の
up.
こと。
What do you really think about Tojo?
は？
Excuse me?
監視役っていうのは聞いてるけど、なんかはっきりしないから。タイガさんにとって東條って何？
I hear you're supposed to be like an observer or some crap, but it doesn't seem that cut and dry from my angle. What's Tojo to you?
依頼人の孫？それとも他の何か？
Is she just your boss's grandkid or something else? Great. How could I possibly answer this one in a way that lets me walk away from this tea party unscathed? I cooked my brain for a minute, but I could only come up with a really tortured excuse.
今はそういう話じゃねえだろ。
That isn't the point right now.
今の話につながることだと思うけど、もしタイガさんにその気がないなら、必要以上に親切にしない方がいい。
It's close enough. Besides, if you don't feel anything special for her, it's not smart to be nice to her beyond the job calls for.
即答できないって時点で答えちゃってるようなもんでしょ。
But since you had to think about your answer, I'd say that probably speaks volumes. Are all of her friends like this? There's no worming my way out of this one. I was stuck. I grimaced and straightened my posture.
分かってる。俺もやるときはやる。
Alright, I get what you're saying. When it comes down to it, I'll do what I have to do. Thankfully, that was enough to satisfy them. Sumigi smiled and Noah lost the keen, interesting look in her eyes. And with that, I was unchained and set free from the terror of the Great Tea Party Inquisition. Freedom. And this one's called No Longer a Breast Man. What does that mean? Sounds like when you lose like your position at a wedding. The car arrived at the vacation home. As always, Kasuga opened the door. Oct what? But I don't want to get out. If I did, I would have to see Taiga. How am I supposed to look him in the face?
お嬢様。
Miss Leah. Kasuga's face was curious, concerned. I exhaled quickly and got out of the car. I want to go home. Of course, this was my home. I bit back the urge to cry and slowly made my way to the foyer. The door opened. Beyond it was...
お嬢さん、お帰りなさい。俺ずっと待ってました。
Leo, welcome home. I've been waiting for you.
お嬢さん、君と会えない間、俺の胸は張り裂けそうで、夜も眠れず息苦しくて。
Lee, I'm so relieved to see you. Your lack of presence made my heart ache. Abdomen... I can't even. That pain of missing you had kept me awake.
おかえり、小鳥ちゃん。ちょっと疲れた顔してるね。
Welcome home, Lee. Are you alright? You look tired.
そんなことない。
I'm fine. While they talked, I covertly scanned the group looking for a certain face, but apparently I lacked subtlety because Xian caught on. He smiled and said,
タイガなら出かけてるよ。
If you're looking for Taiga, he's out right now.
そう。
Oh. I immediately relaxed, but at the same time, I suppose Taiga was fine with prowling around the city while I was gone. That thought jabbed at my heart. Ichia probably noticed how my eyes dropped because he spoke up hesitantly as if gauging my mood.
今日はイギリス風カツレツのコートレットを用意したんだ。いい子牛の肉が入って、それで。
Ew. If you're hungry, I'm making English-styled colettes for dinner. That's a person. I don't know what that means. I was able to get a hold of some very tender veal.
それを薄く平らに。
And I pounded it until it was flat as a board.
一夜さん。
Oops.
大福はどうですか？俺近所のおばあちゃんにもらって。
How about some daifuku mochi cakes? The neighborhood granny stocked me up with them again. They're so tiny and small.
ちょっと小さめなんで、お嬢さんにもぴったりっていうか。
I'm sure you'll love them. They're nice and plump and round, but they're a little on the small side.
なゆた。
Narita.
違うんです。お嬢さんが小さいとかそういうことじゃ全然。
They're like pain and panic from Hercules now. Wait, that's not what I meant. I wasn't trying to point out that you're small.
気にしなくていいからね。
Pay them no mind. They don't mean any harm. Ichia and Narita exchanged panicked glances. I heaved an exasperated sigh.
二人とも。
Ichia, Narita.
はい。
Yesums.
昨日のことだけど、私は全然気にしてない。
I am not in the least bit bothered about what happened yesterday.
別にタイガさんがどう思おうが、私には関係ないし。だから、変に気を使わないで。
I'm not the warden of Taiga's thoughts, and I don't particularly care about his opinions. The two of you needn't twist yourselves into pretzels around me.
ただし、今後、デリカシーのない発言はしないこと。わかった？
However, I want to make it clear I will only tolerate respectful language in this house. Speak with tact or don't speak at all. Am I understood? I looked at both men in turn and each nodded enthusiastically.
これからは気をつけるよ。
I'll choose my words carefully from now on, I promise.
俺もタイガさんにしっかり注意します。お嬢さんを守りますから。
I'll make sure to give Taiga a really, really strict warning to you. I said I'm gonna protect you and I meant it.
いろいろ教えないとね。
Indeed, there are many lessons Taiga must learn. Feeling a little disturbed at how enthusiastic they sounded, I went up to my room. It was nearly dinner time, the sun had set, and the afternoon gave way to purple-red twilight.
帰ったぞ。
I'm back! Taiga's voice echoed from the foyer, and I felt my shoulders jump. Footsteps thumped, coming closer. Before I realized it, my eyes were shut tight. Someone's hand softly landed on my shoulder. I managed to pry open one eye and peek. Ichia looked back at me and tipped his signature wink. Narita had a bright grin on his face, and Xian was wearing his usual gentle smile. I opened both eyes to look back, my heart still beating loud in my ears. Just then...
ただい、お嬢。
Yo, I'm back, babe. Taiga walked in, and when he saw me, his eyes popped open wide. I had no idea what to say. I looked away in awkward embarrassment. There was a long, heavy moment of silence. I heard Taiga's footsteps coming closer. Here he comes.
ちょっと待ってくれ、タイガー。
Hold it, Taiga. I bit my lip in awkward anticipation when Ichia, Narita, and Shion put themselves in between
こん
Taiga
な
and
時
I.
間まで一体どこをほっつき歩いてたんだい？ああ、もしかしてデートかな？
Do you have any idea how late it is? Where have you been? Let me guess. You were out on a date?
巨
Why?
乳の女性と。
With some ample-breasted woman? Why are we doing this?
あ
What?
そんなのダメです。そんな巨乳好きで変態な人、お嬢さんに近寄らせません。
Wow, that's depraved. What a weird show they're putting on. I can't possibly let a weirdo who's obsessed with big breast anywhere near Leah. It's too dangerous.
というわけだから、もうすぐ夕食だし、小鳥ちゃんはダイニングに行こう。
Well then, Leah, it's almost time for dinner. What do you say about us going to wait in the dining room? Shion took me by the elbow and tugged me towards the dining room. I twisted around to look at Taiga. He stood with a confused look on his face as Narita and Ichia glared at him. Aisha's favorite man is getting, like, berated by everyone. The door to the dining room clicked shut behind me before I had a chance to talk to him. Accusing him of going on a
い
date.
ただき
Wow.
ます。カツレツおいしい。ねえ、お嬢さん。
Time for dinner! Boy, is this veal cutlet really yummy? Isn't it, Leah?
そうね。
I suppose. I brushed off Narita and stole a quick glance over at Taiga. Our eyes met, I quickly looked away.
お嬢、
Babe.
お嬢さん、カツレツのソースも特製だよ。柑橘系のフルーツが入っていてね。
Do you know that the sauce for this dish is specially made? I added a splash of citrus to give it a tangy, sunny finish.
なあ、お嬢。
Say, babe.
小鳥ちゃん、今日の学校はどうだった？楽しかった？
How was school today, Leah? Did you enjoy yourself? Did you learn any valuable life lessons? I have never been asked that when I've returned home from school. Ever? Yeah.
お嬢、昨日の。
Babe, about yesterday.
あ、このスープも美味しい。
Yum, the soup is so tasty.
おい、お前ら。
Guys, come on.
ダメですよ、タイガさん。お嬢さんのことは。
No, you
俺が
don't,
守る
Taiga.
んです。
I'm protecting Leah. Narita's lips dropped into an exaggerated frown. Taiga rolled his eyes inside. As I watched the other three gang up on him, I felt a sliver of guilt prick at my heart. That said, even if I did step over the wall they were building between Taiga and I had no idea what I would say to him. If I opened my mouth, I doubt anything would emerge. Conflicted, I dropped my gaze and held my peace. Maybe after a little while, once I calmed down and collected myself, but apparently the other three noticed my silence and mistook it for something else entirely. What? What did they mistake it for? One day later.
君に似合いそうな服があるんだけど、これなんてどうかな？
Here, I think this outfit would look darling on you. What do you think?
どれ？
Which
ほ
one?
ら、これなんだけど。
This one here.
何見てんだ？
What are you two looking at? Taiga happened to walk by and came to see what we were doing. Shion gave him a pleasant smile.
ごめんね、タイガ。ファッションモデルにはあんまり胸の大きい子いなくて。
I'm sorry, Taiga. I'm afraid there aren't many full-figured women in a tasteful fashion magazine like this one.
はい、タイガにはこっちのグラビア。
Here, you can Google this busty Guavere model.
この。
Hey. They're cruel. This is wild. On another day.
お嬢さん、お嬢さん。シンクロナイズドスイミングの公開練習を近くでやってるんです。
Ooh, Leah, look, look. The synchronized swimming team is holding a public practice nearby release
よか
soon.
ったら一緒に見に行きましょう。
If you want, we can go watch it together.
シンクロ？
Synchronized swimming.
面白そうだな。俺も連れてけ。
That sounds cool. Can I come too?
あ、すいません、タイガさん。
Sorry, Taiga.
練習してるの男性のチームなんで。
It's the men's team that's practicing, you see.
だからなんだよ。
So what? And later in the kitchen.
おや、お嬢さん、 キッチンに何か用かな？
Leo, what brings you to my humble domain?
少し喉が渇いて。ミルクはある？
I'm thirsty. May I have a cup of milk?
ああ、なら俺も牛乳。
I could use some milk too.
悪いね、タイガー。
Sorry,
この牛
Taiga.
乳は
This milk.
ホルスタイン種のものじゃないんだ。
It's not sourced from the ample udders of a Holstein cow.
あのな。
What are you even talking about? Oh my god. Thinking back on the past few days, I couldn't help but sigh. Will I be denied the chance to talk to Taiga today too? It's too much. It's just... Oh god. It's like when your one character trait is big boobies. You like big boobies? Sorry. This can't relate to you anymore. I'll probably be denied a chance to talk to Taiga again today. Whenever he came anywhere within my vicinity, somebody always jumped between us. Yet when I initially returned from the main estate, I did want to teach him a lesson. But by this point, the other three were carrying things much too far. Every time they moved to protect me, I cringed a little. I sighed again. The sound must have caught Kasuka's attention because he turned to me with a smile.
イスルギ様のことですか？
Thinking of Mr. Isurigi. Yeah.
そんなに悩まなくても良いと思いますよ。
I don't see any particular need for you to concern yourself over him.
どうして？
Oh. I looked at him curiously. His eyes became gentle.
お嬢様を泣かせた罪は重罪です。
I made it to Sina's route. I might take a break tonight. Well, look at you. I'm like 2 chapters from finishing this board, and it is officially 9 o'clock. So maybe I'll also call. We'll see. We'll see. It's been almost 3 hours. It's a grave crime to make you cry, miss. He noticed. A grimace and embarrassment. Kasuga just gave me another
本
smile.
来ならば私も他の皆様に加担したいくらいなのですが
Personally, I was thinking of ribbing him alongside the others.
それはやめて。
Don't please. Kasuga laughed at my grumbled response. I pretended not to hear as I turned and looked out the
この
window.
まま放っておいていいのかしら。
It's a good idea to leave this issue hanging in the air. Or should I step forward and let him know that I'm no longer angry? This is actually going to be a weird story. Hear me out. I had 2 half-full cans of soda. Because like I said, I was going to maybe eat something. I did, and I opened another can instead of taking my can from the bedroom. And so, now I still have some. Hydrate! No, I'm dehydrating. But anyways, I still have a drink even though I just finished my drink. That was the funny story. Should I step forward and let him know that I'm no longer angry?
そんなに心配はいりませんよ。彼はそれほど我慢強いタイプではありませ
I
ん。
miss Prim. She was here earlier, but she was only in here for a little bit. You needn't worry, miss. He isn't the sort of gentleman who sits idly by in this kind of situation.
それにそろそろ頃合いでしょうから。
And on that note, I believe it is about time. About time. Kasuga said nothing more. He smiled, didn't waver as he turned around and faced forward again. Is he driving or is he sitting next to a driver? I just need to know. Almost time for what? What was that supposed to mean? I turned his words over in my head as I absent-mindedly set 1 foot out of the car, and that second, someone grabbed my arm and yanked.
何？
What?
待ってたぜ、お嬢。
Hey, I've been waiting for you, babe. Taiga? He kept a firm grip on my elbow as he ignored my confusion and started to walk.
春日、お嬢、借りるぜ。
Kasuga, I'm borrowing her for a sec. He shot his intent over his shoulder at Kasuga as he trotted away. Kasuga simply bowed. How well do they know each other? We walked past the house and kept going. Taiga shifted his grip to my wrist. My brain wants to say way so bad. I had a sorry. And still we traveled.
ねえ、ちょっとどこまで行くつもり？
How far are we going? Where are you taking me?
ちゃんと話せるとこ。
I've been on the bench since 7 a.m. My eyes want to rest now. That's so fair. I'm realizing how much Kasuga disliked Shion. You know, that's so, like, they just did not mesh. It's because he was trying to change her clothing style, and because he was, like, snuggling with her, and he's all like, you're trying to recode her. Everyone else is just trying, she's recoding. Somewhere we can actually talk without interruptions. Talk about what? It's like Leah on her 12-hour streams. I haven't done one in a while. Next, welcome back. Oh my goodness. Imagine another 12. I plan to do a 12-hour stream, but like, not soon. I'm too tired. He didn't elaborate. I tried bringing up other topics, but he just answered with non-committal noises and said nothing more. And then there's the matter of him holding my hand. It was evening, but there was still people about. Not soon, maybe Verche. You know what? That wouldn't be too bad. Do a 12-hour for Verche. In honor of my first 12-hour stream, let's play Verche for 12 hours. In tears. It was evening, but there was still people about. I felt their eyes watching us, noticing our joined hands. I quickly tried to tug my hand out of his.
お願い、手を離して。
Would you let
ちゃん
go
と
of
つい
my
ていく
hand,
から。
please? I'll keep walking with you, I promise. Taiga didn't listen. He kept walking in silence, and his grip on my hand remained firm. We've already established he's stronger than us. We don't even suggest it. Leah does it to herself. That's so true. But Verche, the first time for Verche was like, I'm not stopping until I finished. It turned into a 12-hour stream. I didn't realize it was gonna be that long. It was not like intentional. I'm like, oh my god, I am a masochist. That's actually a fact. Oh god, I'm that sad dere type. I can't think of the name of it right now. Utsudere? I don't remember. Eventually, when he finally decided to stop, we were standing in front of a small local park. The sun was already touching the horizon, so no one else was there but us.
もういいでしょ。
May I have my hand back, please? I tugged, and Taiga finally relented. His hands are larger and more rugged than I thought. Ooh. Feeling awkward, I covered the hand he had been holding with my own and looked away. I couldn't seem to bring myself to look at him. Taiga likewise appeared to be having a hard time looking at me. He stood there with his back turned. Then he halted. But then, haltingly, he made himself wheel around to face me.
お嬢、いろいろ悪かった。反省してる。
Babe, I'm sorry for like everything. I really regret what I said. I stayed quiet. His eyes dropped. And he started to speak
今
again.
までも俺は割とお嬢のことをからかったりしてきた
Yeah,
けど、
I've teased you a lot.
あれはお嬢と連中をなじませる作戦のつもりだった。お前、怒ると素が出るから。
I had hoped doing so would help break the ice between you and the others. You tend to drop your guard and be yourself when you're ticked.
怒らせたいのか、謝るのか、はっ
Are
きりし
you
て。
apologizing or trying to make me mad?
切れずに聞けって。俺がお嬢に本気じゃない素振りをしたのも作戦みたいなもんだ。
Like that. Hold on to that temper and hear me out, okay? Anyway, me acting like I wasn't interested in you was part of the plan too.
そうすりゃ変にライバル視される心配はないと思ったし、実際そうだった。けど最近それがうまくいかなくてな。
Oh my god. That's why I didn't. That way I didn't have to worry about the others looking at me as their rival or some crap. And it worked. But lately it's been harder to keep up the charade. Like charade maniacs.
どういうこと？
How do you mean?
俺が監視役って分かってからお嬢と話すことも急に増えたろ。つまり進展したように見えるわけだ。
Now that you know I'm an observer, you've come to talk to me a lot more. To the others, that looks like something's kindling between us.
実際あいつらにもお嬢にマジで惚れたのかなんかあったのかって 問い
They've
詰められ
started
たしな。
grilling me, asking me if what happened and if I've fallen for you and that kind of stuff.
それまでギリでかわしてたのが、なんかあの日だけはダメだった。やたらムキになっちまって。
I managed to dodge the worst of it for a while, but that day it just totally fell apart. They started really ticking me off.
お嬢が聞いてるとは思わなかったし、かわすためっつっても、お嬢を傷つけたのは事実だ。
I had no idea you were listening. I only talked like that to get them off my back, but I get that what I said was hurtful.
悪かった。許してくれ。
For that, I apologize. I'm sorry. His voice actor is in Charade Maniacs. Of course it. There's 9, isn't there? Or like 10 guys in Charade Maniacs? He has to be there. It's like by law, he's required. He's in so many games. Oh my goodness. Taiga bowed deeply.
お嬢様成長記録ならお任せを。
Ignite, yeah. I know the routes are supposed to be shorter than other games because there's so many, but like, oh my god. Oh, that's sorry. We'll go back. I'm sorry.
本当に前
My
は
bad.
確かあそこでやめたから
My bad. I made the wrong choice. Didn't mean to. My forehead itched.
もういいわどうせ事実だし
Forget it. I know you were just telling the truth.
タイガさんも監視役として大変なのにいろいろやりにくくさせちゃったし
You already have enough on your plate with your observer role, and I made it more difficult.
もう気にしないでいいから
Just forget it happened. I'm not mad anymore. I tamped down my irritation and let my eyes drop away from his. Taiga gave me a look, frowning.
無理すんなよ。俺は殴られるくらいのこと覚悟してる。怒りたいならもっと怒鳴れ。
Don't go putting this on yourself. I came here with every expectation to get slapped. If you want to yell at me, cut loose and go for it. Yell at him? Pardon me? What's with this lackluster response? Does he have any idea how much I've... That was the straw that broke the camel's back. All the emotions I've kept in check bursted out. I took a deep breath, filled my lungs, and let the words come pouring
いい
out.
のよだってこれは事実なんだから
What does it matter? It's not like you lied. You don't have to sugarcoat it.
私の胸がないのもタイガさんが巨乳好みなのも全部事実なんだから
I know I have a flat chest. I know you like girls with big bust. It's all just the undeniable truth.
それを今さら言ってどうなるのもういいから放っておいて
What's the point of bringing me here? Are you trying to rub my inadequacies in my face? Just leave me alone. Variable bust. Oh god. That's probably the worst one so far. And we have more classy than Boobas. We have variable gaslighting, variable manipulation, variable stubbornness, variable cruelty, variable catfish. My goodness. I don't know. Boobas is funny though. I think Boobas is giggly. Giggles. My voice nearly raised to a shout as I held back my tears. Taiga grimaced and dropped his head in his hands.
そうじゃねえって。
No, that's not it. He rubbed his face and took a deep breath and opened his eyes and looked straight at
よ
me.
く聞け、お嬢。
Babe, listen.
確かに俺は巨乳が好きだ。
I like big breasts. I cannot lie. I said that already. I already said it. I said it before you said it. I made the joke.
けどな、だからってお嬢が対象外ってわけじゃねえ。
But that doesn't mean that I don't find you attractive. What? I blinked in surprise. Taiga suddenly looked bashful and dropped his eyes.
実際、初めの頃はお嬢をそんな目で見ないつもりだった。
To be honest, there was nothing in the initial plan about falling for your looks.
じいさんに監視役頼まれてたし、お嬢の話は昔から聞かされてたしな。
Gramps just wanted me to keep an eye on things and filled in on everything I needed to know about you.
けど、俺の立場が分かってから、お嬢がどんどん懐いてきたろ。コロコロいろんな顔見せるようになって、
But as soon as you knew my real role, you started getting way too comfy around me. Then I saw all kinds of different sides of you.
こっちの見る目も変わったんだよ。
I started observing you in a new light.
ね
You did?
お前は違うだろって何度も自分に言い聞かせたけど無理だった。自分をごまかすのも限界だ。
I'm like, what if he has the shortest board ever? They don't even have a third board. They're like, let's just date. And they're like, okay. And it's the end. I told myself over and over that I had a specific job to fill, but eventually my pep talks just stopped working. I couldn't keep lying to myself.
お嬢。
Babe.
お嬢でもちゃんと興奮する。
You know what? That's why it didn't work. Frankly, you turned me on. Honestly, you know, he's not the best with words. But, you know, it's truth. It's a truth. It's not the best. Best. Ah, man. You were doing great until this exact second. It's not what a girl wants to hear. In fact, it feels like something you get in a text message. And you go, oh, and then you don't reply ever.
Huh?
What?
もっとわかりやすく言うなら、俺はお嬢でた。
Oh my god. This is bad. Oh my god. This is worse. This is worse? What don't you get? Let me dumb it down. When I think of you, I get an angle on my dangle. What is wrong with this man? All this sudden talk about You hopeless pervert, you leech.
いや、お嬢にわかりやすく伝えようと。
Was just trying to make my feelings clear. Variable boners. Oh no. Listen, he's the first one to admit it, I guess. Isn't there always like one? I put that as a chapter, not as a word. Hang on. I was just trying to make my feelings clear. I think I find you attractive is enough. But that's half of your variables have been screaming, by the way, but
それにしたって言っていいことと悪いことがあるでしょ。どこまでデリカシーがないのよ。
there are things that are appropriate to bring up in a civilized conversation and things that aren't. Can you not discern the difference?
お嬢そんな騒ぐなってちょっと落ち着け。
Come on, babe. You're kicking up a real fuss here. Calm down.
落ち着けるわけないでしょ。もう帰る。
Oh man. We had ample utters earlier, and I want you to know angle on my dangler. Cringe. I want to know what he really said, because that's definitely been translated. I don't know what he said. How am I supposed to stay calm around a Neanderthal like you? I'm going home. I suddenly felt like I couldn't bear another moment. Confused and emotional, I spun around.
ほら逃げんな。
Hey, no runaway. I barely taken a step when Taiga's hand clamped down on my wrist again.
話してよ。
Let me go! My voice quivered as I fruitlessly tugged my arm. He pulled again, turning me around. Oh, okay. And when I looked up, his face was right in mine. Okay, I didn't feel like that's the right word. Shh. Why am I shushing? My cheeks flared with heat and I froze. Taiga gave me a quick, weary smile.
ここまで言わせてんだから、ちゃんと最後まで聞いてけ。
You've made me spill most of my guts. The least you can do is hang around to hear the rest.
別に頼んでない。
I never asked you to spill. Somehow I managed to squeeze those words out. Taiga grimaced again and started to talk.
初めからお嬢のキリッとしてるとこはいいと思ってた。きつめの女、好みだしな。
I was totally cool with your attitude from the start, you know. I like spicy women.
でも同居始めたらいろいろ見えてきて、 年相応のとこもあるじゃねえかって。
I just noticed there's like stars instead of like light reflections. Why is there stars? But then we lived together for a bit and I started to see that you're still a kid in a lot of ways too.
なんかこいつも普通の女の子だって思ったら安心しちまってな。
I was like, oh, so she's a normal girl like any other, and I started to relax.
それに俺が監視役って分かった途端、急にじゃれついてきたろ。正直、すげえ可愛かった。
Then you learned I was an observer and started messing around with me a lot more, right? It was pretty cute, if I'm being honest. Cute. I felt my heart jolt at the words, but my mouth seemingly moved on its own, and I said,
でも私嫌な態度取ったでしょ。
but I was being mean and petty, though. I thought she said pretty. Oh, God. Petty. Didn't I come off as nasty? Girl, this man just said angle on my dangle, and you... I'm gonna say it. We ignore red flags. Like, we just ignore them. We just ignore them. That's not... Is that what you want to hear? It's not. Like... The words trailed off into a mumble. Taiga just looked at me with an indulgent smile. Indulgent. I can do this.
けど、面倒だなんて思わなかったぜ。むしろ思春期っぽくて微笑ましいっつうか。
It never got so bad I was annoyed by it. Hell, it was actually kind of endearing. It was like observing some kids' outward puberty shenanigans.
マジで妹みたいなもんだって思ってたんだけどな。
I seriously thought of you as a younger sister at first, but then he wanted to say something, but his voice was clearly stuck. I could almost feel Taiga struggle as he hunted for the words he wanted. But I wasn't sure if I wanted to hear what was about to come out of his mouth.
お前に俺の話を聞かせてやるよ。
聞きたくない。
完全勝利ってもんを見せてやる。
何よ、見ないでよ。
やってやろうじゃねえか。俺やってやろう。
I mean, what's foolish is you could just walk around.
イスルギ男見せるぜ。
God, he's hot. God, did you just... As a chibi? Wait, what do you mean? After a long pause, I mustered up the courage to break the silence.
最後まで聞いてけって言ったのはそっちでしょ。言いたいことがあるなら言って。
You're holding me hostage until I hear you out. If there's anything else to say, just say it.
仕方ないから。ちゃんと聞いてあげる。
Before the chibi. Okay, just making sure. I've heard this much, so I'll listen. I guess it can't get any worse. You know what? I don't know if it could. Actually, you know, you could challenge it. This is a challenge. Is this a challenge? I pressed my lips together and looked squarely at him. I saw his eyes widen slightly in surprise.
早く。
Go on. I haven't gotten all night. My voice feigned a calmness I didn't feel. Taiga looked at me and...
それでこそお嬢だよな。
Yep, that's what you're all about, babe. He broke out in a sunlit grin and took a deep breath before
そ
saying,
んなに聞きたいな言ってやる。耳の穴かっぽじってよーく聞け。
Okay, if you really want to hear it that bad, I'll tell you, so flush out that earwax and listen up.
なんで偉そうなの？
Why are you being so pushy over this?
勢いつけねえと恥ずかしいからに決まってんだろうが。
Because if I don't hype myself up first, I'm gonna be too embarrassed to actually say it. Duh.
恥ずかしさのかけらも見えないけど。
You don't look the least bit embarrassed to me. Taiga's expression suddenly became gentle. Sucking all the momentum out of our back and forth quietly, he said,
いいからちょっと黙ってろ。
Come on, just listen for a sec, okay? I can't. How many expressions we get? We're spoiled.
あのね、もし本当に今もただの妹だとしか思ってねえなら、俺はこんなに必死にならねえ。
Listen, if I still regarded you as just a little sister, there's no way I would be this desperate about everything that's going on. Understood?
必死に謝ったりもしねえし、理解してほしいとも思わねえ。
I wouldn't try so hard to apologize. I wouldn't go out of my way to get you to understand. So hey, babe.
自信持て。お前はいい女だ。やばいくらい最高に魅力がある。俺が保証する。
Have some confidence in yourself. You're hot. I mean it. You're one incredibly attractive woman. I can assure you of that fact. Taiga's blunt statement made my mind go blank. I second that. It's a great CG. This should just be the confession of I like you, and this should just be the end of the game. I couldn't make myself think, but for some reason my body felt so much lighter. I blinked several times in an effort to collect myself. Eventually I was able to find my voice.
なんでそんなに偉そうなのよ。
Like I said, why do you have to be so pushy about this? Taiga had made it clear that he was honestly sorry about what he said. Not only that, I learned several other things that I was not at all expecting to hear. I brushed a finger against my cheek and suddenly noticed they were warm. I quickly turned away from him.
今回だけは許してあげる。
Just this once, I'll forgive you.
おう、サンキュな。
Thanks. Taiga's smile was a little sarcastic, but also a little happy. I liked that smile. I felt brave enough to admit that much, but that thought alone was enough to make my heart jump. We smiled at each other, saying nothing. After a moment, Taiga broke the silence.
そろそろ帰るか。春日にどやされるしな。
We should probably hurry back. Kasuga's gonna pitch a fit if I keep you out in the dark. I was reluctant, even ever so slightly. But I kept that feeling to myself and simply nodded back at him.
Tadaima.
I'm home. I'd barely set foot inside the front door when Ichiya, Shion, and Narita practically climbed over each other to greet me.
おかえりなさい。二人ともどこ行ってたんですか？
Welcome
すっ
home.
ごく心配したんですよ。
Where did you two go? We were super worried about
あれ？
you.
なんだか小鳥ちゃん、少し頬が赤い気がするけど。
Yeah, do I detect a
何
touch
かあ
of
った？
pink flush on your cheeks? Did something happen?
言われてみればタイガもいつもと違うような。
Now you mention it, Taiga, you've got a bit of color on your face too.
何ですか？何か？
Did I miss something? What are...
うほん。
Ahem! Taiga loudly cleared his throat, scattering the barrage of questions that flew at us.
一つ、お前らに言っておきたいことがある。
Guys, there's something I have to tell you.
今日から俺は
As of today... Is he leaving? Don't tell me he's gonna spill everything that happened at the park.
巨乳派改め美脚派だ。
Oh, I'm no longer a breast man. I'm a leg man. What? I stared at Taiga in utter shock. He gave me the biggest, sunniest grin I'd ever seen in my life.
安心しろ、お嬢。お嬢の足は胸よりも魅力がある。この俺が巨乳好きから温めるくらいにな。
Don't worry, babes. Your legs are hot enough to make up for your boobs. In fact, they're so good looking, they've converted me to the Church of Gams. Pervert. I love this route. Oh god. It's...
本当だ。変態だ。いつものタイガさんだ。
Ah, she's right. He's still the same old Taiga. That's to say, a total pervert.
恐ろしくひどい宣言だな。
Now that was just award-winningly tasteless, Taiga.
今度は足ね。
Now you're into legs, are we?
本当に最低。
You are the worst. While I made a show of shouting at Taiga, my heart felt as light as his grin. I mean, what else can you do? He's just terrible. Time is a thing. Oh god, hang on, 15. I can spell, but like, I just got my nails done. I have to get used to it again. We're gonna finish the board though. What a day. I'd finally cleared things up with Babe. I've made the switch to being a leg man, and I let the guys grill me all through dinner. It was late in the evening and everyone was headed to their rooms to wind down, myself included. I feel like I've been beaten with a sack of rocks.
Taiga-san!
Taiga!
どうしたいきなり
Nearly gave me a heart attack. What's up?
俺今日タイガさんが話してるの聞いてて
I heard what you said earlier.
これだけは伝えなくちゃって
I decided I really had to tell you something.
何の話だ
Tell me what. I have no clue what he's getting at. Naruto looked at me with earnest puppy eyes and said, See ya.
俺もお嬢さんの足いいと思います
I really like Leah's legs too. Specifically though, her feet, right? Like her feet? Like step on me? What?
なんていうかバランス細いし長いし多分スベスベだし力の入れ具合もきっと最高
They have just this perfect balance. They're long, slender. I bet they're super soft too. I'm sure she can channel the perfect amount of oomph into them.
いいな
They're just so beautiful. We're seeing this from completely different angles, bro.
俺は素足もいいと思うんですけどやっぱりヒールのある靴を履いてるとグッとくるんですそれから
I'm sure they look great bare, but personally the thought of those feet slipped into stiletto heels is just And then there's... Yeah, her legs are pretty hot. But she was attractive for tons of reasons beyond her appearance. She was bullheaded, but honest and kind. She looked like she was pouting when she was embarrassed. And the smile she flashed when she was genuinely happy. It should be illegal for anything to be that cute. Just thinking about that smile made my heart beat a little faster. Great, I was in some serious trouble here. Gramps asked me to be the observer, and that's what I'm gonna be, but... Hang with the other suitors, learn about them on their down low, dig into their true natures. Variable perverts? Oh no. The duality of this game, it works on so many levels. Like... If Babe picked one of them, great, mission accomplished. At least that was the plan. Never thought I'd start falling for her too. My feelings were starting to get out of hand. The smoother I tried to act, the more my facade frayed. At this rate, I was completely...
Taiga-san! 俺の話聞いてます
Are you listening to me?
えああおう
Oh yeah, I was.
本当ですかぼーっとしてニヤニヤして
Didn't seem like it. You started smirking too. When Naruto said that, I suddenly realized my lips were worked up in a smirk. Get it together, Taiga. Not that it's any big surprise, I guess. I mean, I could still feel the warmth of her shoulders under my hands. Not only that, she had blushed at me more than once. That had to mean there was at least something there. Even after I took off my rose-tinted glasses, I could still say that she didn't hate me. Probably. The million-yen question was, are her feelings the same as mine? I mean, are there romantic thoughts there? Well, I have to remember who I'm talking about here. How high could I dare to rise my hopes? How close would she let me get? I wasn't sure I could even throw out a guesstimate at this point.
どうしたいんだかな俺は
What do I really want?
俺は踏んでほしいです
Oh, that's easy. I want her to step on me. I barely had any energy left to roll my eyes at Naruto's earnest statement, let alone tell him that he was totally off base. He's an honest man, right? Like... Why does his board look like the biggest one? Wait, what? What is this? Wait. There's so many options. Wait. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh my god. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 24?
内緒話はほどほどになさってくださいね。
Leah, step on me too, please. Excuse me? Your legs. I thought they were really nice way before Taiga ever did. So you should step on me first, not him. It's only fair. Not to breathe. I'm not going to step on anyone, not you, not Taiga. Aww. But Taiga had a big fat smirk. I'm sure he was thinking about how he wants you to step on him. No, he wasn't. Yes, he was. I'm sure. I knew right away. By the way, did he say anything? Not really, but he had a really spaced out look. The look of a person desperate to be stepped on. And he was thinking of your legs. Don't think of people's legs like that. I am not going to step on anyone. Not even me? Not even you. Sorry. Harassment, right? Like, what is this game?
たまに妙な視線を
Oh,
感
hit
じ
the
る
wrong
んだ
button.
よ
Oh no, I hit the wrong button.
忘れないよ
Well, we
君の
are
感触
on his last board at save 75. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's put the final notes in here. Some of his chapters were short, and then some of them were really long. And I don't know what that means for the rest of it. So I've had an average about 15 hours a route. It's been about 15 hours a route, guys. I know this because it's usually about 3 streams, and each stream is roughly 5-ish hours. Some are a little less, some are a little more. But on average, I've been doing 3 streams a guy, and each stream altogether is about 15 hours. And I broke this one down into 2 streams today, and it's been 5 hours between the 2. Oh my god, am I ever gonna see the end of this? Maybe I'm going to look at my calendar because I want to play 9 RIP, and I'm playing 9 hours tomorrow regardless. I'm playing 9 hours. We're going to a concert after that. Evening stream Wednesday night. No, wait. I lied. There's not a stream Wednesday night. Oh no. Wednesday night is not an evening stream. We're going to a musical. And there's... Oh my gosh. Do I even have time to stream this week? What is this life? We'll see. We'll see. Well, thank you, Jay. Thank you, Blue. Thank you, Asia, for being in chat for this evening stream. I hope you guys continue to progress through your stories that you're playing. And I hope you have a lovely evening. I will post in Discord what time my stream is going to start because I have to time it with what time we have to leave for our concert by, and also account for time to get dressed for said concert. So it's not going to be too bad, but I'm going to post what time it is once I have that math figured out. So thank you guys for being here. If you're watching this on YouTube, as a reminder, I stream on Twitch about 3 times a week. On average, as you might have heard, it doesn't sound like it's going to be 3 this week, but we're going to do our best. And if you're watching this on Twitch and you want to remember all the fun and adventure and what it's like to get stepped on by a girl in stilettos, you can watch this on YouTube later. I'm going to see if there's anyone to raid before I leave, but I hope you guys have a lovely night. Thank you for being here.